Chapter 301 The Land of Water. Jintan Particle Style, Split Detachment of the Primitive World Technique. The chakra surged in Dong Shenyao's body, and then he saw a small circular barrier appear between his hands. The barrier was not big, just the size of a fist, and there was a small glowing ball in the center of the barrier. Dong Shenyao shook his hand, and the circular barrier was thrown out by him. The small ball flew out less than 10 feet away, and then quickly became larger, and finally reached a diameter of about 1 meter. Boom! The next moment, the luminous balls in the spherical barrier exploded directly, and a dazzling brilliance bloomed in the barrier immediately, and then the barrier was shrouded in smoke. Phew! I succeeded, but the range is a bit small. Dong Shenyao said after a long sigh. The purpose of Jintan particle style is very simple. It is to decompose objects into molecules. The previously glowing ball was made by Jintan particle style, which has the energy of decomposition. As for the outer boundary, it limits Jintan particle style. If you don't limit it, it's easy to hurt other people, and maybe even yourself. In addition, this enchantment can also trap the enemy, making it impossible for the enemy to escape from Jintan's particle style attack range. As for the shape of the enchantment, this can be changed at will. It can be either a cube or a circular Jinchuriki column body. To put it bluntly, it depends on what shape the user likes. Although Jintan's particle style skills can be used, it is obviously not comparable to Onoki and the second generation Tsuchikage. At least the attack range is much smaller than 940, and the more powerful detachment of the primitive world technique cannot be used. Although Jintan particle style has been exchanged, Dong Shenyao is still in no hurry to go to the land of water. After all, he has just obtained Jintan particle style, and he is not very skilled in applying it, so it will inevitably leave some flaws. Next few days, Dong Shenyao was constantly familiar with the use of Jintan particle style, and even entered the battle space to fight with the system-generated Uchiha Ida. Jintan particle style, split detachment of the primitive world technique. Boom! I saw that Uchiha Ida was enveloped by a ball with a diameter of about 2 meters. Uchiha Ida wanted to leave, but was blocked by the barrier. The next moment, the ball of light in the center of the sphere exploded, and the light in the enchantment instantly shone, and then was enveloped in smoke. When the smoke dissipated, there was nothing in the enchantment. Success! East God Yao Yi is happy. After 4 days of practice, Dong Shenyao's use of Jintan particle style can be considered very handy. Although it may not be as good as the two Onoki who have practiced for more than 10 or even decades, it is at least applied to combat. No problem in it, and it will not make people feel unfamiliar. It's time to go. After the practice was over, Dong Shenyao finally left the cave. Although Dong Shenyao has been cultivating these days, he has already split up an earth clone and headed to the land of water. When Dong Shenyao was still a Jonin, he could only have 3 earth clones, but when he became an elite Jonin, he could have a 4th one. Compared with Shadow Clone, the earth clone is undoubtedly easier to use. After arriving at the seaside, Dong Shenyao did not hire a boat, and just walked on the waves. Treading water is nothing to a powerful ninja, and the only thing to worry about is the consumption of chakra. But Dong Shenyao didn't care either, because he didn't intend to leave completely. When Dong Shenyao was on the shore, and after making sure that no one around was seen, he directly used the transformation technique to turn himself into an ordinary-looking middle-aged ninja, but he still wore Konoha's forehead guard on his head. Relying on the connection with the Earth avatar, Dong Shenyao rose into the sky and flew towards the depths of the sea. Many small islands in the sea, and many of them are independent countries. For example, the country of waves that appeared in the original book, and the country where the Uzumaki family is located, are all on overseas islands. However, most of these countries are closer to the mainland, and the islands far away from the mainland basically belong to the country of water. A day later, Dong Shenyao landed on a small island. This small island is really small, with an area the size of 2 football fields. It is very close to Kurigakure village, so although the area is small, under normal circumstances, there are ninjas from Kurigakure village. And just when Dong Shenyao just landed on the island, a man in a black cloak walked out of the woods. The man in the black cloak did not stop even after approaching Dong Shenyao, and finally the whole person actually merged into Dong Shenyao's body. This is the Earth avatar that Ta Shenyao split off before, and he has been waiting here for Ta Shenyao, and at the same time, he solved the guard ninja of Kurigakure village on the island. After taking back the Earth clone, Dong Shenyao got all the memories of the Earth clone. These days, the Earth clone is not in vain. Been investigating the situation in the country of water, looking for opportunities to start. What a coincidence! After obtaining the memory of the Earth avatar, Dongshen's dazzling eyes flashed a hint of joy. From the memory of the Earth clone, Dong Shenyao got a piece of news, that is, the village of Kurigakure sent a team to attack the country of fire, and the leader of the team was the young patriarch of the Ghost Lamp clan. You must know that Mizukage Ghost Lantern Wanyu in Kurigakure village is also the patriarch of the Ghost Lantern clan, which means that the young patriarch of the Ghost Lantern clan has another identity, and that is the son of Mizukage and Kurigakure village. This is really a big fish, if you kill him. Thinking of this, a cold light flashed in Dongshen's dazzling eyes. Dong Shenyao knew at this time that Ghost Lantern Wanyu had only one son, and if this son died, I am afraid that Ghost Lantern Wanyu would go crazy. I didn't expect that this Earth clone is really powerful, and it was able to inquire about this kind of information. Kurigakure in one day, but he flew over, naturally fast, but other people can't be like him. Under normal circumstances, if the ninjas of Kurigakure village want to go to the country of fire, they will take a boat. Speed of the boat. It takes at least 3 or 4 days to reach the border of the country of fire from Kurigakure village, so although I know that the village of Kurigakure the team had already set off for a day, but Dong Shenyao was not in a hurry. After a brief rest on the island, Dong Shenyao set off again. This time, however, his target was not the village of Kurigakure, but flew in the direction of the land of fire. The sea was calm, and a large ship was sailing on the sea. The people on this ship were all wearing ninja guards, and they were obviously ninjas. How far are we from the land of fire? On the deck, a young man looked into the distance and asked. My lord, we have only walked a little and half of the way now, and it will take at least 2 more days to reach the land of fire. The middle-aged man standing beside the young man replied respectfully. Thank you, Lin Lin, and 765 for their monthly ticket support. Chapter 302 Plan to start. There are still 2 days left, it's so boring. Really, if I hadn't brought so much waste, I would have arrived in the country of fire long ago. The subordinate's words, the young man seemed a little dissatisfied. The subordinates on the side did not dare to speak at all when they heard the words. There are some things that the master can say, but the subordinates can't. Father is also true. You have to let us test it. I say that now while Konoha is in critical condition, we should attack with all our strength and destroy Konoha in one fell swoop. In this way, we can occupy the land of fire and never need to live overseas again. Now, the young man became more and more excited as he spoke, as if he had already seen the destruction of Konoha village. Sir, don't underestimate Konoha village. Now Konoha village is 1 against 2. Although it looks difficult, it has not yet reached the point of extinction. No one knows how many trump cards are still in Konoha village. Don't be careless. The middle-aged man quickly reminded. Hold cards. I think my father is cowardly. What other cards can Konoha village have? Haven't we already received news that Konoha village is at a disadvantage in both battlefields now? If there are cards, why would they not use them? Obviously don't believe it. My lord, other subordinates are not clear, but at least the Jinchuriki column force of the EPUB, 9 Tails people in Konoha village has not been used yet. Once it is used, the form will be reversed immediately. EPUB, 9 Tails, Jinchuriki column power. Man's expression was no longer as relaxed as before when he heard this name. There is no way that the name of Kyubi, 9 Tails, is too loud, which has been forged for thousands of years. He came out fiercely and fiercely. Just as the youth was standing on the bow deck talking to his subordinates, at the stern, several ninjas were chatting. You said, will it be dangerous for us to attack the Kingdom of Fire this time? You must know that Konoha village is the largest village in the ninja world and is very powerful. A ninja asked worriedly. Who knows, but with Lord Ghost Lamp here, we should be fine. Your lord is so powerful, he is already a quasi-shadow at a young age. The person who spoke had a look of admiration on his face. Yeah, your lord is worthy of being the son of Mizukage-sama. As expected, there is no dog. Few years, I am afraid that lord can become a cage-level powerhouse. Just as the few people were talking, they didn't see that a black spot was approaching from behind. A few minutes later, a ninja finally looked up and saw a black spot in the distance, but he didn't care, he just thought it was a seabird, and he stayed at sea all year round. He was accustomed to this situation. However, as time passed, the shadow got closer and closer to the ship, and gradually someone noticed something was wrong. Look, what is that? It doesn't look like a seabird. One person pointed to the dark shadow in the distance. It's a bit far, I can't see clearly, but it looks like it's really not a seabird, but it can fly. What else would it be if it wasn't a seabird? Just as a few people guessed, the shadow was approaching again, and vaguely, these ninjas were already able to see some outlines clearly. Then, why does that shadow look like a person? A ninja suddenly said in surprise. People, kidding me, how can people fly? Others obviously didn't believe it. No, that is really a person. Soon the shadow was only nearly 1,000 meters away from the ship. At this time, these ninjas could already see that this was indeed a person. What's the matter? How can this person fly? A ninja said in horror. I know, I heard that the Tsuchikage in Sunagakure village in the land of soil can fly. One of them is obviously more knowledgeable. No, you must inform the adults quickly. Said, the man hurriedly ran towards the bow. It's not good. What's the matter? Hearing the shout, the young man turned his head and asked dissatisfiedly as he looked at the subordinates who rushed over. Sir, someone is flying over from behind. The person who came pointed to the sky behind shouted. Fly. The young man's expression suddenly became serious, and then he looked up. At this time, the flying man in the sky was less than 500 meters away from the ship, and the people on the ship were almost able to see clearly. They were indeed individuals. How can a flying person suddenly appear? Is he an enemy or a friend? The young man's expression was solemn. By others, all on alert. The youth reminded. Yes. Soon all the ninjas on the ship had come to the deck, watching the flying men approaching vigilantly one by one. Half a minute later, the trapeze had come over the ship, hovering in the air hundreds of meters away from the ship. At this time, the people below have been able to see clearly the appearance of the trapeze. It looks ordinary, but where's a ninja's forehead? That forehead, he's a ninja from Konoha village. Soon the people on the boat have recognized the identity of the trapeze. Finally found. Looking at the ship below, a smile appeared on the corner of Dong Shenyao's mouth. He knew the general trajectory of the ship. It was still difficult to find a ship in the vast sea. Fortunately, he has Byakugan, and there is nothing to block the sea, so it took him half a day to find the ninja in Kurigakure village. Through Byakugan, Dong Shenyao saw the young man standing on the bow at a glance. At this time, he had recognized it. This was his goal this time, the young patriarch of the Ghost Lantern clan, Ghost Lantern Juyu. Although this is the first time that Dong Shenyao has seen Ghost Lantern Juyu with his own eyes, the Earth avatar of Dong Shenyao has seen him before, so it is only now that Dong Shenyao recognizes this person. The ninja from the village of Kurigakure dared to invade our country of fire. Today, I will kill you on behalf of the country of fire. As if afraid that Juyu and others would not know their identity, Dong Shenyao shouted, just started. Doden Earth Style Earthfall Cover. The Dongshenyao hand seal was completed. A huge rock shaped like a pot lid fell from the sky and smashed directly towards the ship below. Since he was pretending to be someone else, Dongshenyao's own signature skills were naturally unavailable, and he had to hand seal it to cover up. Not good. Seeing the huge rock falling, Ghost Lantern frowned in Juyu. If the rock fell on the boat, the whole boat would probably be destroyed. Sweden Water Style Water Blade. After the hand seal, Ghost Lantern opened his mouth and immediately spewed out a stream of compressed water Jinchuriki column. Bang! The water Jinchuriki column bombarded the rock. What Ghost Lantern did not expect in September was that the rock was not broken immediately, but was temporarily withstood. Hurry up! Kurigakure also took action immediately, and a large number of Sweden water-style ninjutsu attacked the rocks in the sky. Chapter 303 Acting. Boom! With a loud bang, under the bombardment of many ninjutsu, the huge rock was finally shattered. Although the enemy's attack was blocked, Gui Dengjuyu's face was not very good looking, because he did not expect that he could not break the rock by himself, which made him feel ashamed and surprised at the strength of the enemy. Being able to make a rock that he couldn't easily shatter shows that the enemy's strength is at least a quasi-shadow. It's a bit difficult. Although Gui Lanjuyu is arrogant, she is not arrogant. However, unlike Ghost Lantern in September, the others were relieved, but they didn't see it. At this time, there was one more person on the deck. PFF'd. Kurigakure just breathed a sigh of relief, when suddenly his mouth was covered, and before he could struggle, a kunai had stabbed into his back heart. Because the man was located in the corner of the deck, no one noticed his death. After quietly putting the body on the ground, Dong Shenyao began to look for the next target. Although it is to frame the blame, it also requires technical content. At least Dong Shenyao knows that it is not possible to directly swagger with the forehead guard of Iwagakure village and use the ninja tool of Iwagakure village. It is too easy for people to see. Flawed. After all, there is no hatred between Iwagakure village and Kurigakure village, and the two sides are not next to each other, so as long as Iwagakure village is not a fool, then they will not provoke Kurigakure village easily. So if Tashinya really dresses up as Iwagakure, I'm afraid Mizukage will immediately notice the problem. Dong Shenyao did the opposite and came out directly as a Konoha ninja, and then performed a good show, and finally reached one, making the ghost light phantom think that it was the village of Iwagakure who pretended to be a Konoha ninja in order to put the blame on Konoha. However, in order for Ghost Lantern to come to this conclusion, Dong Shenyao needs to act well. If one is not good, it is likely to backfire. He was discovered when Tashinyao killed the third Kurigakure. It wasn't that Dong Shenyao was careless, it was because the deck area was too small to be used at all. The enemy is here. Kurigakure, who found Tashinyao, shouted to remind his companions, and took the lead in attacking Tashinyao. Looking at Kurigakure who was waving his kunai and attacking him, Dong Shenyao did not show weakness, holding his kunai and greeted him. When Kurigakure to take a few steps back with the tremendous force. If the 8 inner gates is not turned on at this time, Tashinyao has already reached the elite Jonin level with ordinary physical skills alone, and Kurigakure who attacked Tashinyao at this time is just a special Jonin, so where is his opponent? When the other Kurigakure arrived, the Kurigakure who attacked Tashinyao in the first place was already dead. Damn, give me death. Seeing that Dong Shenyao killed his companions in front of them, the other Kurigakure were immediately embarrassed and angry. At this time, the Kurigakure village has not yet reached the blood fog era, and the relationship between Kurigakure is considered to be harmonious. The death of the companion, other Kurigakure naturally feel uncomfortable. Facing the siege of more than a dozen Kurigakure, Dong Shenyao calmly hand-sealed with both hands. Kaden Fire Style Dragon Fire Bullet. Woo! A large burst of flames spewed out, and most of the ships were within the attack range of the flames. In an instant, several Kurigakure could dodge and were surrounded by flames, and it didn't take long for them to turn into fly ash. Water style, great waterfall technique. Quote. The sea on the side boiled, and a large stream of water Jinchuriki column rose, turning into a huge wave and hitting the deck. Boom. Under the watering of the sea, the flame was extinguished directly, and then the castration continued to rush towards the eastern god Yao. At this time, there was sea water all around, and it was the home of the sweetened, water-style ninja, so Dongshenyao was not low-end, and flew directly to avoid the impact of the seawater. However, just after the waves passed, a figure jumped up and attacked Dongshenyao, who was in the air. When Dongshenyao's speed was very fast. Although this man's attack was a bit sudden, he was still blocked by him. At the same time, he also found out that it was Gui Deng Juyu who attacked him. After all, the ghost lantern can't fly in September, and after a blow, its body falls towards the deck. This moment, a stream of sea water suddenly rose into the sky and appeared at the foot of Ghost Lantern Juyu, and Ghost Lantern Juyu stepped on the sea water and rushed up again. Dang dang dang. The two fought directly in the air. Dongshenyao can fly and move flexibly. Although Ghost Lantern can also come to the air by relying on seawater in September, but after all, with the help of external force, it is not very flexible. It didn't take long for Dongshenyao to catch a flaw, and kunai directly stabbed into it. In the heart. However, Ghost Lantern Juyu was not afraid, but laughed instead. I saw that he turned into a pool of water when he was attacked, and he didn't look injured at all, which made Dongshenyao stunned for a moment. Taking this opportunity, the kuwu in Gaidong Juyu's hand stabbed directly in front of Dongshenyao Shang. PFF'd. Blood splattered, but before Ghost Lantern was happy in September, Dongshenyao turned into a puff of smoke with the sound of bang. Good. At this time, a Kurigaker jumped up behind Ghost Lantern Juyu, and then quickly hand-sealed with both hands. Kaden Fire Style, Great Fireball Jutsu. Woo. The flames instantly enveloped the ghost lights in September. Sir. Seeing this scene, a kind of Kurigaker below was stunned. Under the blaze, the ghost lamp in September turned into a fishing rod with a bang. It's so fast. Dongshenyao didn't expect Ghost Lantern Juyu to use the double-acting technique to escape. At this time, Dongshenyao simply untied a layer of transformation technique, and changed from Kurigaker back to Konoha Ninja. Down, Dongshenyao saw Gui Deng Juyu standing on the deck, but at this time half of his body was gone. At this time, Ghost Lantern is a little scared. Although 2.7 he can turn into a liquid, it does not mean that he is invincible. At least Kaden Fire Style is his nemesis. If he hit a little slower just now, I am afraid that the whole person will be evaporated. Crack. The ghost lamp in September directly turned into a pool of liquid, merging with the seawater on the deck. It didn't take long for Ghost Lantern to emerge from the sea again in September, and at this time his body had returned to normal. The ghost lamp family is really not that easy to deal with. It seems that it's time to use Jinten particle style. Speaking of this, Dongshenyao did not give the ghost lamp Jiu breathing time, so he shot this time. Whoosh. Doden Earth Style Rock Fist Art. Bang. S left hand condensed a rock hammer, and after knocking off a Kurigaker blocking the way, he was already close to the ghost light September. Chapter 304 Furious Mazukage. PFF'd. Kunai stabbed into Ghost Lantern Juyu again, but at this time Ghost Lantern sneered. I didn't expect you to be so stupid. You know that it's impossible to hurt me, Deng Juyu said disdainfully. Dongshenyao did not say anything about this. If he goes all out, he has a way to solve the ghost lights in September, but it can't be done now, not only because this is the sea and not the home of Dongshenyao, but more importantly, many skills he can't use. Bang! Ghost Lantern Juyu punched Dongshenyao and directly knocked him out. Even so, Ghost Lantern Juyu did not relax his vigilance, but stared closely at Dongshenyao who flew out, wanting to see if this was true. Seeing that Dongshenyao's body fell on the deck, but did not disappear, this made Gaidong Juyu relieved, because it showed that this Dongshenyao was real. And just when Ghost Lantern Juyu was relaxing, a Kurigakure standing behind Ghost Lantern Juyu showed a sneer. 15. Jinten Particle Style, Split Detachment of the Primitive World Technique. A small cube-shaped barrier appeared between this Kurigakure's hands, and then he shook his hand and threw the barrier out. After being thrown out, the enchantment quickly grew in size, and finally became a cube with a side length of 2 meters. Lantern Juyu was completely unprepared, and was directly shrouded in a cube-shaped barrier. Not good. Ghost Lantern's face changed drastically in September. He didn't expect that he was still hit. Boom. The glowing balls in the barrier exploded instantly, and the smoke filled the air, making it impossible for people outside to see what was inside. Sir. Seeing this scene, the rest of the Kurigakure were stunned. Bang. Kurigakure who attacked, and then changed back to the shape of a Konoha ninja. What's going on? How come there are two? Kurigakure froze. At this moment, the Konoha ninja, who had been knocked off by the ghost lamp September, disappeared into smoke. At this time did Kurigakure know that it was a clone that was knocked flying before, but they couldn't understand why the clone didn't disappear after being attacked before. These Kurigakure won't know, because the previous one was not Shadow Clone, but the Earth Clone. Even if the Earth Avatar is attacked, it will not disappear. It is with this ability that Dongshenyao hides the ghost of Juyu, and this is the opportunity to attack, otherwise Dongshenyao wants to kill the ghost. Easy. The smoke dissipated, the remaining Kurigakure found that the ghost lamp Juyu had disappeared in the barrier, and there was nothing inside at this time. Soon Dongshenyao dispersed the barrier and turned to look at the rest of the Kurigakure. This is Jinten Particle Style. Not a Konoha ninja, you are from the village of Iwagakure. At this time, someone recognized the ninjutsu that Dongshenyao had just used. Is this important? Dongshenyao smiled disdainfully. Then he saw Dongshenyao took off the forehead guard and threw it on the ground. As long as your Mizukage thinks that this was done by the Konoha ninja, it's enough. Speaking of this, Dongshenyao's face showed a touch smile. Damn, I won't let your plan succeed. Everyone, run away. After greeting the middle-aged ninja who first talked to Ghost Lantern Juyu, he hurried to the side of the boat, apparently wanting to jump into the sea. Although Dongshenyao was ready to stay alive, but he couldn't do it too clearly, otherwise Mizukage would easily find the flaw, so Dongshenyao rushed directly towards the middle-aged ninja. The battle started again, and without the obstruction of the ghost lights in September, the remaining Kurigakure could not stop Dongshenyao at all. Jinten Particle Style, Split Detachment of the Primitive World Technique. Instant, Jinten's particle style barrier enveloped the three people, the ninjutsu broke out, and the three Kurigakure turned into molecules and disappeared. More than 10 minutes later, the battle was over. On the bright side, all the Kurigakure had been solved by Dongshenyao, and the big ship was in tatters, but barely sank. Looking at the situation on the big ship, recalling what he had just done, and after confirming that there were no flaws, Dongshenyao soared into the sky and flew in the direction of the Fire Nation. 10 minutes later, Dongshenyao came back again, and after flying around the big ship, he left again. Half an hour later, a head emerged from under the sea. This is a Kurigakure, looking in the direction of the land of fire, with hatred in his eyes. This Kurigakure took advantage of the chaos and sneaked into the water under the cover of his companions to hide. In fact, Dongshenyao had discovered him, but for the sake of planning, he pretended not to know. The escaped Kurigakure climbed onto the boat, picked up the ninja forehead that Dongshenyao deliberately dropped on the ground, put down a lifeboat, and rushed towards the direction of Kurigakure village. 2 days later, the Kurigakure returned to the village and met Mizukage. Master Mizukage is not good, Master September, he. What's wrong with September? Ghost Lantern asked Kurigakure with wide eyes. Master September, he's dead. Bang. Ghost Lantern Wanyu patted the table and stood up directly. Say, what's going on? It's like this. Dare not to hide it. This Kurigakure hurriedly explained the matter in detail. After listening to Kurigakur's report, Ghost Lantern fell into deep thought. Konoha, Jinten particle style. Good plan. Damn Iwagakure village, they pretended to be Konoha ninjas to attack September 240, it seems that they want me to fight with Konoha. Huh. You don't think there is another survivor? Iwagakure village, Lao Su, it's not over with you guys. When his son died, how could Ghost Lantern not get angry? His mind became a little hot when he was angry, so he didn't analyze it carefully. At this time, he had already decided that the people of Iwagakure village did this thing to marry him. Woe to the village of Konoha. In a fit of rage, Ghost Lantern Wanyu did not lead anyone, and went straight to the mainland alone. As for Dong Shenyao, after returning to the country of fire, he found a place where no one was there to remove the transformation technique. Finally done, everything is ready now, I just owe Dongfang. I hope Ghost Lantern Wanyu won't find any flaws. Dong Shenyao thought to himself. At this point, he has already done what he should do, and the next step is to resign. That the battle is still going on, Dong Shenyao didn't waste any more time and rushed back to the front line. 2 days later, Dong Shenyao came to the northern fortress of the country of fire. Here, he met Sarutobi Hiruzen and others. Apparently, the life on the front line has been difficult recently. Sarutobi Hiruzen had to retreat here and rely on the fortress to resist the attack of Iwagakure village. Sarutobi Hiruzen was a little excited when he learned that Dong Shenyao was back, and met Dong Shenyao for the first time. Chapter 305 Back to the Front. Ta Shenyao, you just come back safely. After seeing Ta Shenyao, although Sarutobi Hiruzen wanted to know the result right away, he didn't ask directly. Have to say that Sarutobi Hiruzen is very talkative, and first of all, he is concerned about the safety of Ta Shenyao. Thank you for your concern, Commander. The mission this time went smoothly, but I don't know if Kurigakure village will be fooled. Doesn't matter, it's up to people to make things happen, and God to make things happen. We can do what we need to do, and leave the rest to God. Although he said that, Sarutobi Hiruzen still had a look of hope in his eyes. If it is convenient for Ta Shenyao, can you tell me what happened? Sarutobi Hiruzen showed curiosity when he spoke. Of course there's no problem with that. Dong Shenyao smiled slightly, he didn't hide anything, he explained what he had done, of course he knew Jinten particle style, Dong Shenyao didn't say it, just said Ghost Lamp September killed with Kaden fire style. You actually killed Mizukage's son. Sarutobi Hiruzen couldn't help but be surprised when he learned what Dong Shenyao did. He didn't expect Dong Shenyao to be so lucky to meet Mizukage's son, and he was not small. Even the son of Mizukage dared to kill. Once this incident leaks out, Dong Shenyao will face the full pursuit of Kurigakure village, and even Konoha village may not be able to keep Dong Shenyao at that time. This is also my good luck. When I arrived in the land of water, Ghost Lantern September just left Kurigakure village, otherwise I would have no chance. And I think it was Mizukage's son who died, and he should be able to anger Mizukage even more. Yeah, Ta Shenyao, you are really lucky. But will Mizukage be fooled? Sarutobi Hiruzen was a little worried. I don't know about this either. Everything can only be left to fate, but I think Mizukage will be very angry when he hears the news of his son's death, so he loses his calm, so my plan still has a good chance of succeeding. Dong Shenyao said somewhat uncertainly. Hearing Ta Shenyao's words, Sarutobi Hiruzen didn't ask any questions, and could only pray in his heart that Mashungu's plan would really succeed, lure Mizukage and Tsuchikage into a war, so that Konoha village could escape the crisis. Sarutobi Hiruzen did not continue to inquire about this matter. After all, it has already happened, and it is useless to entangle it, and the most urgent task now is to think about how to resist the attack of Iwagakure village. It will take a few days for the country to arrive here. Commander, how is the situation on the front line during this time? After talking about his own affairs, Dong Shenyao was concerned about the situation on the front line. It's not very good. During this time, we have been retreating, and Iwagakure village is pressing step by step. Finally, we entered the fortress, which temporarily blocked Iwagakure village. Sarutobi Hiruzen said in a bitter tone. Think of how beautiful Konoha village was during the first Hokage and second Hokage eras. During the first Hokage period, Konoha village dominated the ninja world, and no one dared to provoke it. Although war broke out during the second generation, they were still able to gain the upper hand with one enemy and two to come to him, and he was forced into this situation by two villages, which made Sarutobi Hiruzen feel ashamed of the first and second generations. Then I wonder what's going on in Sunagakure village. Over there, I heard that their situation is better than ours, because they have already defeated Sunagakure village before, not only killing their Jinchuriki column force, but also destroying a lot of quasi-images. Speaking of this, Sarutobi Hiruzen glanced at Dong Shenyao resentfully, because Dong Shenyao was involved in all these things, but Dong Shenyao was clearly on their side, but in the end he made a huge contribution on the other side, which made Sarutobi Hiruzen a little unbalanced in my heart, and even a little envious. Was a little embarrassed by Sarutobi Hiruzen at this time, but he couldn't say anything. Of course, Sarutobi Hiruzen just thought about it in his heart. After all, both parties are Konoha ninjas, and now he is acting as Hokage, so he is just a little envious, but he is not angry or jealous. Although Kazekage from Sunagakure village has come to the front line now, but because their quasi-shadow loss is not small, and ordinary ninjas have died a lot before, so they can still be blocked there. The key is here, if your plan fails. If that's the case, then Mito-sama can only be found, but if that's the case, I'm afraid that Iwagakure village will also use the power of Jinchuriki column. Commander, Iwagakure village shouldn't have had a long time to get the tailed beast, right? Are their Jinchuriki column powerful? Shinyao asked curiously. Except for Sunagakure village, the tailed beasts of Kumogakure village, Kurigakure village and Iwagakure village were all assigned to them by Senju Hashirama, because they had only acquired the tailed beast for more than 10 years, and they were not as good at sealing as the Uzumaki clan. So from Dong Shenyao's point of view, even if these three villages already possess the power of Jinchuriki column, they should not be very strong. The reason why the Jinchuriki column power of Sunagakure villagers is so strong is because Ikkyao Shukaku was captured by Sunagakure village alone and studied for a long time, so he was able to become combat effective in this era. Although the Jinchuriki column people of Iwagakure village are not strong, if Iwagakure village breaks down and releases the tailed beast directly on the battlefield, it will still be very unfavorable for us. Sarutobi Hiruzen explained. So it is. Dong Shenyao nodded and did not continue to talk about this matter. Then Dong Shenyao asked about the Dark Blade again, and after learning that the Dark Blade had also retreated to the fortress, and there were no casualties, Dong Shenyao was relieved. Commander, if there is nothing else I will leave first. Well, then Dong Shenyao, you should go first, you just came back, take a good rest these few days. Thank you Commander. To Sarutobi Hiruzen, Tashinyao left the room and walked directly to the Dark Blades station. When talking to Sarutobi Hiruzen before, Sarutobi Hiruzen had already told him where the Dark Blade was at this time. Soon Dong Shenyao found the members of the Dark Blade in a camp, and everyone seemed very happy to see Dong Shenyao back. Captain is great, we can rest assured that you return safely. Thank you for your concern. Seeing everyone's sincere concern, Dong Shenyao felt warm in his heart at this time. In order to celebrate the safe return of Dong Shenyao, everyone came to a dinner party that night. Of course, the so-called gathering is just for everyone to eat together and chat. After all, this is the front line, not in the village, and the conditions cannot be too good. Chapter 306 Mizukage comes. On the second day after Dong Shenyao came back, Iwagakure attacked again, but this time the attack was only tentative, so not only did the Iwagakure strongman not appear, the battle did not last long, less than 2 hours, Iwagakure retreated. However, on the third day after his return, the war broke out, and the strong Iwagakure, led by Tsuchikage, directly invited Sarutobi Hiruzen to fight. Faced with this situation, the strong Konohas led by Sarutobi Hiruzen had to face the battle. After all, if they didn't stop the Iwagakure masters, even the solidity of the fortress would not be able to stop their attack. Junkage and cage-level masters from Konoha village, such as Sarutobi Hiruzen, jumped out of the fortress directly and left the battlefield with Master Iwagakure. Although Toshinyao had just returned for 2 days, and Sarutobi Hiruzen had previously told him to rest well, but at this time the war broke out, how could he still sit still, and he had to go out with him in the end. The strong men on both sides left directly and started a battle on a plain 10 miles away from the battlefield. In terms of quantity, the two sides are almost the same whether it is cage level or quasi-shadow, with 3 cage levels each, but the key is that the second generation Tsuchikage alone is worth 2, and Silver Tiger and Yoshikawa Jiro only work together. Can stop him, and Sarutobi Hiruzen has to deal with Onoki, and there is a cage level master in Iwagakure village that can only be handed over to Junkage to deal with. In order to deal with 250 cage level masters before, Konoha village spent a lot of money, and at least 3 quasi-shadows had to be arranged to stop him. In this case, Konoha village will be less than Iwagakure village in terms of the number of quasi-images, and it is precisely because of this that Konoha village will always be pressed and beaten by Iwagakure village. Dongshenyao had never been in the camp before, so he didn't know much about this situation. After the fight started, Dongshenyao directly joined a Quenying to stop the cage-level master from Iwagakure village. Yingchuan, we meet again, Dongshenyao said with a smile. It's you. Yingchuan has already recognized Dongshenyao, and it can be said that Dongshenyao is a disgrace to him. Before, he personally took action and wanted to take down those 2 towns, but he didn't expect to be blocked by Dongshenyao. Although Dongshenyao was at a disadvantage from the beginning of the battle and was always suppressed by him, he wanted to defeat Dongshenyao. Yao is also not easy, and finally had no choice but to retreat. It can be said that this matter has always been a knot in his heart. Now that he sees Dongshenyao again, Yingchuan's fighting spirit is high in his heart, and he will be ashamed. Kill. Roar, the 3 of them fought directly. Cage-level master alone, it would still be a bit difficult, but now that there is a helper, the 2 of them will not be defeated by 2-on-1. A cage-level master was blocked by 2 quasi-shadows alone, something that Konoha village had never been able to do before, but now it has happened. The battle was fought from morning to noon, and then from noon to evening. Finally, the sky was filled with stars, and the battle was over. This battle Konoha lost a quasi-shadow, and a few others were injured. However, Iwagakure's side was not unscathed. A quasi-shadow lost an arm, and his combat power will be greatly reduced in the future, and many others have also been injured. After returning to the fortress with the corpse of the quasi-shadow, Sarutobi Hiruzen and others felt heavy. Zunying is the foundation of a village, and every time one dies, it is enough for them to feel distressed. Iwagakure didn't attack the next day. For all, both sides were very tired from the battle yesterday, and it took a while to cultivate. It was impossible to fight continuously, otherwise, the cage-level masters would not be able to stand it. 2 days later, fighting broke out again. This time, there is no need for Iwagakure experts to invite battle. Sarutobi Hiruzen and others came out of the fortress very consciously, and left the battlefield in good agreement with Iwagakure masters. When they came to the plain 10 miles away, the 2 sides were just about to make a move when suddenly a person ran over from a distance. Seeing this sudden arrival, both sides were a little wary, not knowing whether it was an enemy or a friend. No! Get out of here! The man shouted directly after approaching the teams on both sides, his voice filled with endless anger. Seeing that this man dared to scold the shadow of his own village, the Iwagakure village master was furious. Where did you come from? You dare to insult Tsuchikage, Sama like this? Talking Iwagakure, but did not speak, but the next moment his figure disappeared in place, and most of the people present did not see what was going on for his sudden disappearance. Bang! Suddenly, the talking Iwagakure flew out, and then everyone saw that the man who had just arrived appeared. So fast. At this time, everyone already knew that this person turned out to be a master who knocked out a quasi-shadow with a single blow, and his strength was definitely cage level. Who am I supposed to be? It turns out to be Ghost Lantern Wanyu. You old bastard, what are you doing here? At this time, the second generation Tsuchikage Wu walked out, looking at the person who came and asked. This person is the second generation Mizukage, Ghost Lantern Moon. At this time, Sarutobi Hiruzen and Toshinyao were relieved at the same time, because Mizukage appeared here, and also shot Iwagakure. Obviously their plan was successful. Although the masters of Konoha village basically know that Dong Shenyao is going to frame the blame and make Kurigakure village and Iwagakure village enmity, but they are not clear about the specifics, so they have not figured out why Mizukage appeared here for a while. You old man, today I'm going to avenge my son, die for me. Ghost Lantern said involuntarily, and shot directly. Sweden, water style, water and iron cannon art. I saw Ghost Lantern Genyu stretched out his hand and pointed his finger at Tsuchikage, and the next moment a water bomb was shot out. The speed of the water bomb is extremely fast, like a bullet. Although Ghost Lantern Wanyu's shot was very sudden, Tsuchikage was always on guard, so when the water bomb hit, his hands were already wrapped in front of him. Jinten particle style, split detachment of the primitive world technique. The enchantment appeared, directly dispersing the water bomb. Are you crazy, Ghost Lantern? Are you going to provoke a war between the two countries? Tsuchikage was really angry at this time, and at the same time, he was a little unclear. He didn't know why Ghost Lantern said that he wanted to avenge his son. Starts, you think I'll be afraid of you, go die. Ghost Lantern Wanyu didn't give Tsuchikage a chance to explain, and attacked Tsuchikage directly. At this time, Sarutobi Hiruzen was happy, and he was afraid that the two would confront each other, and it would be easy for both parties to perceive the conspiracy. Okay now, just start the fight without speaking, then this matter will not be exposed. Seeing that Tsuchikage was entangled with Mizukage, Sarutobi Hiruzen certainly wouldn't let this good opportunity pass. Shoot! Sarutobi Hiruzen rushed forward after greeting. Chapter 307 Die Together Part 1. Seeing that Tsuchikage was entangled by Mizukage, how could Sarutobi Hiruzen let go of such a good opportunity? After saying hello, he went straight to Iwagakure to kill. Immediately, the battle broke out. Previously, because of Tsuchikage, Iwagakure village had the upper hand in the cage-level powerhouse. But now the situation has reversed. After losing Tsuchikage, Iwagakure village has one less cage-level master than Konoha, and the situation has suddenly reversed. Konoha village was at a disadvantage, but now it's the other way around, and Iwagakure village is suppressed. Everyone is strong, and the scope of the fight is too large, so after each other finds an opponent, they will deliberately stay away from others. Is no exception, this time he found a quasi-shadow in Iwagakure village. Dang dang dang. The symphony of gold and iron continued to sound, and in just a few seconds, the two had already fought more than 10 moves, and at the same time, the two also deliberately separated from the others. In the end, Dong Shenyao and the two ran for a few hundred meters. There was no one else within 100 meters of the place, so the two of them could let go of the fight. Ninja, multiple shadow clone technique. Bang! The smoke rose, obscuring Dong Shenyao's figure. Iwagakure looked at Dong Shenyao vigilantly, not knowing what skills Dong Shenyao used. When the smoke cleared, 5 figures of Dong Shenyao were revealed. Shadow clone. Seeing that Dong Shenyao just used shadow clone, this made Iwagakure puzzled. Although shadow clone can help the main body to fight, its real strength is far less than the main body, unless it is like the protagonist Naruto in the original work. 10,000 shadow clone. Otherwise in the same level of battle, shadow clone can only be used to confuse opponents at most. It is useless to rely on shadow clone to deceive more, but it will waste chakra. The name Iwagakure is no stranger to Dong Shenyao. After all, Dong Shenyao can block the existence of cage-level masters. Although he has only defensive power and no ability to fight back, it is enough to show his strength, so Iwagakure is not. I thought that Dong Shenyao would make such a low-level mistake. No, there must be some conspiracy. Thinking of this, Iwagakure suddenly became vigilant. Dong Shenyao separated Shadow Clone. He did not let his Shadow Clone deal with Iwagakure, but left Shadow Clone where he was and found Iwagakure himself. The battle begins again. This time, Iwagakure murmured in his heart, "What is this kid going to do? He has divided Shadow Clone but doesn't need it. Is he having too many chakras?" Of course, Iwagakure thought about it that way, and he knew it was impossible. Just when Iwagakure was puzzled, Dong Shenyao tried his best to entangle Iwagakure, and at this time, the 4 Shadow Clone moved quietly. I saw 4 Shadow Clones running around, and finally stopped at a distance of 100 meters from Dong Shenyao and the 2 of them. At this time, the 4 Shadow Clones are standing in 4 different directions, forming a square. Doden, Earth style, land is coming. Boom. As the 4 Shadow Clones pressed their hands on the ground, a stone wall rose up in front of the 4 Shadow Clones, and at the same time, the ground beneath Dong Shenyao's feet began to sink. Not good. He didn't know what Dong Shenyao was going to do. Iwagakure had a bad premonition in his subconscious, and he wanted to leave quickly. Where would Dong Shenyao allow it? Gravity field. The gravity around Dong Shenyao suddenly increased, and Iwagakure's speed suddenly slowed down. House of Flying Daggers. Whoosh whoosh. A large number of soil thorns continued to emerge from the ground, causing Iwagakure to be in a hurry, and there was no time to leave. Boom. A roar sounded, the earth stopped sinking, and the surrounding stone walls also stopped rising. At the same time, a huge rock fell from the sky and landed directly on the 4 stone walls. Boom. The venue where Dong Shenyao played against each other became a closed space, and there was no light in it. Same time, when this confined space was formed, the 4 Shadow Clones of Dong Shenyao all turned into smoke and disappeared. Iwagakure's heart was awe-inspiring. He didn't have pupil skills, and even Dong Shenyao didn't know where he was in this dark space. Kaden, fire style, illumination. Iwagakure hurriedly hand-seal, then opened his mouth and spat out fireballs one by one. These fireballs are very small, the size of a human head, and they did not explode after they appeared, but were suspended in the air one by one. With these fireballs, it was no longer dark in this confined space, and Iwagakure hurriedly searched for Dong Shenyao's whereabouts just after being able to see things. Iwagakure only felt a strong wind blowing behind him, and hurriedly ducked. PFF'd. Shadow-chopping blade slashed across Iwagakure's back, blood spattering. Iwagakure dodged. Tashinyao didn't care, because at this time on the ground behind Iwagakure, another Tashinya appeared. Jinten particle style, split detachment of the primitive world technique. Iwagakure didn't expect Dong Shenyao to appear behind him, let alone Jinten particle style. When he found out, it was too late. This is Jinten particle style, how could this be? Looking at the surrounding barrier, Iwagakure was terrified. As a quasi-shadow of Iwagakure village, he was familiar with Jinten particle style, but he was all watching the enemy die under Jinten particle style, but never thought that one day he would be killed by Jinten particle style. Boom. The ball of light exploded in the barrier. Even if the name Iwagakure was a quasi-shadow, it couldn't resist the power of Jinten particle style, and the whole person was instantly decomposed into countless molecules. Bang! After Iwagakure died, Tashinyao, who started the sneak attack with the Shadow Slayer, turned into smoke and disappeared. It was Shadow Clone. This Jinten particle style is really easy to use. As long as you hit the trick, unless you know space ninjutsu, even a cage-level powerhouse can't stop it. With Jinten particle style, Dong Shenyao has obtained a means of one-hit kill, which is what Dong Shenyao has always lacked before. After resting for a while, Dong Shenyao did not disperse the confined space, but directly merged into the earth. Going to watch the battle between Tsuchikage and Mizukage, to see if the two of them will really die together in the end. Dong Shenyao sneaked in the earth, and it didn't take long for them to find Ghost Lantern and Huan Yu. Both of them are masters at the peak of cage level, and they fight with great momentum. Once some large-scale ninjutsu is used, even the quasi-shadow can't stop it. Ghost Lantern Huan Yu is not afraid. After all, the people around him have nothing to do with him. But Tsuchikage can't do it. There are many of his subordinates here, so he can only lead Ghost Lantern and Moon away and find a place where no one is there to fight. Dong Shenyao found the two in a canyon a few miles away from the plane, and the two were fighting fiercely. Chapter 308 die together below. When Dong Shenyao found Ghost Lantern and Huan Yu, they were fighting fiercely. Sweden, Water Style, Water Dragon Bullet Art. Ghost Lantern Hand Seal. He opened his mouth and spit out a large amount of water, which turned into a water dragon and attacked Tsuchikage. Doden, Earth Style, Earth Flow Wall. Boom. A wall of earth rose, directly blocking the impact of the water dragon. Dang dang dang. The symphony of gold and iron sounded, and the two kunai collided together, bursting with sparks. Dongshin stared at the two fighting, immersed in it for a while, unable to extricate himself. Fighting of this level is not common. Ninja fighting is not the kind of head-to-head fighting of samurai. Fighting is like playing chess, and it depends on wisdom. Perhaps a very inconspicuous action will play a crucial role in the next battle. At this time, Dong Shenyao has truly seen the battle strategy of the cage level peak. Before Ghost Lantern Huan Yu created a lot of water around, Dong Shenyao just thought that this was Ghost Lantern Huan Yu to create a venue, just like the ghost shark in the original book, to transform the environment into a battlefield that is beneficial to him. But later Dong Shenyao realized that he was wrong, and Guidong Huan Yu did this just to hide his water separation. During a confrontation between the two, Ghost Lantern Huan Yu's water body rushed out directly from under the water and attacked Tsuchikage. Although Tsuchikage dodged in the end, the clothes on his back were indeed torn. And Tsuchikage is all simple. The reason Jinten particle style forced the ghost lamp to retreat, but he didn't expect that the place where the ghost lamp retreated has been trapped by Tsuchikage. There is a pit on the ground, and the ghost lamp and the moon are not note that it fell straight in. There are a lot of soil thorns in this pit. If it wasn't for Ghost Lantern Huan Yu's body to liquefy, I'm afraid he would be injured at once. In the mutual calculation between the two, Dong Shenyao found that the gap between cage level masters is really big. Before Dong Shenyao was able to block a cage level master, that was because the previous attack on Dong Shenyao was only in the early stage of cage level. If it is replaced by Tsuchikage Wu or Ghost Lantern Huan Yu, Dong Shenyao believes that he can only escape, otherwise he will only die. Dong Shenyao is not confident that he can stop Tsuchikage's Jinten particle style or Ghost Lantern's trick. With the passage of time, the two gradually became really popular. Tsuchikage was very depressed and angry. He didn't understand, when did he offend Mizukage, and he heard Ghost Lantern Moon say it was to avenge his son, which made Tsuchikage feel wronged, because let's not talk about killing Mizukage's son, he didn't even know what Mizukage's son looked like. At first Tsuchikage wanted to explain, but Ghost Lantern Moon didn't listen at all, and Tsuchikage was also angry at Ghost Lantern Moon's pressing step by step. He was not good-tempered either. Seeing Ghost Lantern Huan Yu's unrelenting appearance, Tsuchikage simply ignored the rest and prepared to directly defeat Ghost Lantern Huan Yu. As for killing Ghost Lantern Moon, Tsuchikage is not 100% sure. Spirituality. That Tsuchikage was not easy to deal with, Ghost Lantern Huan Yu quickly recruited psychic beasts to help out. Half an hour passed in the blink of an eye. At this time both Ghost Lantern and Huan Yu were injured, but they still did not intend to stop. As the shadow of a village, both of them are proud. Although their opponents are powerful, they both think that they can defeat each other, so they will not end the battle easily. Ninjas steaming dangerous explosive power. Finally, Ghost Lantern Huan Yu took the lead in using the trick. I saw a ghost lantern in the shape of a child, Huan Yu, and rushed straight to Tsuchikage. What the hell is this? Tsuchikage was stunned for a moment, and just because of his stupefied skill, the childlike Mizukage had approached him, just when Tsuchikage was about to dodge. Boom! Tsuchikage didn't expect was that the kid actually exploded, and he didn't have a chance to dodge at all, because he didn't expect this kind of thing to happen before, so Tsuchikage was directly attacked. The screams sounded, and it was obvious that Tsuchikage was very uncomfortable. However, at this time, the place where the explosion occurred was blocked by water vapor, so it was impossible to see the specific situation of Tsuchikage. Ha ha ha, I must win in the end, I'll die without you. Ghost Lantern Huan Yu was overjoyed. It's too early for you to be happy. Jinten particle style detachment of the primitive world technique. What? Ghost Lantern was startled. He didn't expect Tsuchikage to appear behind him, and it was indeed too late when he wanted to dodge. The barrier formed by Jinten particle style swept over and directly hit the ghost light and the moon. In an instant, Ghost Lantern Huan Yu's body was decomposed, and he couldn't die any longer. Tsuchikage is not feeling well. At this time, Tsuchikage has no traces on his body, even his skin has disappeared, and his body is covered in blood. Obviously, he has not completely avoided the previous explosion. Tsuchikage's mouth couldn't help but twitched into a smile when he saw Ghost Lantern Moon being killed. Ha ha ha, it was me who won in the end. Tsuchikage laughed, but he didn't see that a ghost lantern like a child quietly came behind him. Boom! The child exploded directly, and the high-temperature steam enveloped Tsuchikage in an instant. Wouldn't he just die like this? Although it was true that the two of them perished together in the original novel, Tashinyao still couldn't believe that Tsuchikage died like this in the end. This Tsuchikage is really injustice. He has already killed Ghost Lantern, and finally died on the ninjutsu left by Ghost Lantern. It seems that you have to be careful when fighting in the future, even if the enemy is dead. Dong Shenyao thought to himself. Soon the water vapor dissipated, and Tsuchikage's body fell to the ground. Hey, they're all dead. 3.4 inches Dong Shenyao smirked, and after confirming that there was no one else around, Dong Shenyao emerged directly from the ground, then walked over and sealed Tsuchikage's body with a scroll. In fact, Tashinyao is a little curious at this time. Mizukage has become a molecule. How did Kabuto, the snake in the original book, use impure world reincarnation to get him out? Maybe Ghost Lantern Huan Yu death is different from the original. In the end, Dong Shenyao could only guess like this. Sealing Tsuchikage's body, Dong Shenyao left the valley. Back on the plain, Dong Shenyao turned on Byakugan and looked around. He found that the battle was not over yet, and everyone else was fighting fiercely. Konoha village has a cage-level master this time. It is not easy to completely defeat Iwagakure village. Chapter 309 Elder. If half a year ago, with the strength of the camp at the time, Iwagakure could have been easily defeated without Tsuchikage, but now it is different. Konoha's strength has lost a lot in the past 6 months. On the other hand, Iwagakure, because of the fierce battle, they have more. Some quasi-images were killed, but the number of quasi-images that died was not as many as that of Konoha village, so the number of quasi-images at this time had surpassed the strength of Konoha here. So even if there are 3 quasi-shadows to deal with Yoshikawa Jiro, the number of quasi-shadows in Iwagakure village is still no less than that of Konoha village, but the strength is a little worse. After seeing this situation, Dong Shenyao did not sit idle, and directly joined the battle. Although there is only one more Dong Shenyao, his combat power is amazing, and he is absolutely the pinnacle. Therefore, after joining him, the battle situation suddenly changed dramatically. More than 10 minutes later, a quasi-cage level powerhouse fell directly from the Iwagakure village. This man was beheaded by Dong Shenyao and Nara Jue. Of course, it was Dong Shenyaobu's knife in the end, and the head was his. After all, this is 9,000 divine creation points. Another quasi-cage died, and Iwagakure's situation suddenly became bad. In addition, Tsuchikage didn't come back, and the strong man of Iwagakure started to retreat. Seeing that the fight was very difficult, Onoki finally made a decision. After Onoki broke up with another cage-level master from Iwagakure village, he covered the rest of the quasi-cage to retreat. Finally, at the expense of cage-level master Kujagawa's serious injury, the Iwagakure master retreated. We won, we finally won. Sarutobi Hiruzen and others were excited when they saw the retreating Iwagakure village strongmen, because this was their first time defeating Iwagakure in more than half a year, which gave them hope. After the excitement, Sarutobi Hiruzen did not stop, and quickly returned to the main battlefield, and then everyone mercilessly shot at the ordinary Iwagakure, and finally killed the Iwagakure village. Ha ha ha, we finally won once, great! Countless Konoha ninjas cried, venting their grievances and suffocation for more than half a year. After leaving others to clean the battlefield, the masters such as Sarutobi Hiruzen returned to the fortress. In the discussion hall, everyone sits together. We won this time, and I would like to thank our great hero, Tashinyao. Said, Sarutobi Hiruzen stood up and bowed to Tashinyao. This time Dongshinyao didn't dodge because he deserved it. Hearing Sarutobi Hiruzen's words, the others were taken aback for a moment, but Narajiwe suddenly thought of the mission that Dongshinyao performed not long ago, and when he thought of the sudden appearance of Mizukage today, he wanted to understand a lot of things. Dongshinyao, you really succeeded. Narajiwe said excitedly. What the hell are you talking about? What did Dongshinyao do? The others didn't react for a while. Have you forgotten? Before we retreated, Tashinyao proposed a plan to make Kurigakure and Iwagakure fight. Now that Mizukage has appeared, it means that Tashinyao's plan was successful. Narajiwe explained. Commander, is that so? Everyone asked Sarutobi Hiruzen. That's right, all of this is due to Tashinyao. He went to the land of water and killed the son of Ghost Lantern. Sarutobi Hiruzen immediately recounted what Tashinyao had told him before. Of course, some details were omitted by him. That's great, Tashinyao, you are really a great hero and benefactor of our Konoha village. After speaking, everyone stood up and bowed to Tashinyao at the same time, even Tashinyao's teacher Uehara was no exception. Everyone, the village of Konoha is my home and it is right to do these things for it. East Shenyao, we at Konoha pay attention to the principle of rewarding merit and punishment. No matter what, you will have great merit. From now on, you will be the elder of my Konoha village. Sarutobi Hiruzen made a direct decision. Elder. Everyone was taken aback when they heard the words, because when Senju Hashirama and Senju Tobarama were on the throne, there was no elder. Commander, what is an elder? Our Konoha village have this position? Naraji asked slightly. I didn't have it before, but I have it now. I've already thought about it before, and I'm going to set up a group of elders. After all, I'm still young, and it is inevitable that some things can't be handled well or thoughtfully, so the role of the group of elders is to help me manage Konoha. While checking my rights, lest I do something wrong. However, because I didn't have much time to think about the elders, I have not thought about the specific rights of the elders, and I will formulate them in detail after the war is over. But no matter who the last members of the elder group are, there must be a place for Dongshinyao, but the position of the first elder belongs to him. Sarutobi Hiruzen said firmly. Although the group of elders has not yet been established, everyone present can already predict that the power of this chief elder must not be small, but they have no objection to Dongshinyao becoming the chief elder. Although Dongshinyao is still young and his strength has not yet reached cage level, the credit of Dongshinyao is too great, and the huge credit is enough to make people ignore his other shortcomings. Thank you Lord Hokage for your love, I will do my best to assist Lord Hokage in managing Konoha in the future. Shenyao quickly voted. Hearing this, Sarutobi Hiruzen nodded with satisfaction, this is what he wanted. Sarutobi Hiruzen still has 277 political savvy. He knows that his qualifications are low, and he will inevitably be criticized after becoming Hokage. Therefore, he must cultivate his own team now. Only in this way can he be able to completely secure the position of Hokage. And Tashinyao is the object that Sarutobi Hiruzen must win over. Although Dongshenyao is only a quasi-shadow now, he can block the attacks of cage-level powerhouses. His strength is not low, and he is still young and his future achievements are limitless. More importantly, Tashinyao also has a lot of connections in Konoha village. Cage-level powerhouses Silver Tiger and Yoshikawa Jiro were once Tashinyao's bosses. The relationship between the three must be not shallow. Moreover, Dongshenyao had helped another frontline before, and had a good relationship with another commander, Harmony Miyamura, who was also a cage-level powerhouse. These connections also made Sarutobi Hiruzen pay more attention to Dongshenyao. Once Dongshenyao is on Sarutobi Hiruzen's side, he can take the opportunity to win over Silver Tiger and others. This is Sarutobi Hiruzen's plan. Although Tashinyao didn't fully understand this, he knew that Sarutobi Hiruzen was trying to win over him. Of course Tashinyao would not resist this. After all, Sarutobi Hiruzen will be in charge of Konoha village for more than 40 years in the future. There will be a fourth-generation Hokage in the middle, but Sarutobi Hiruzen is the real one. Chapter 310 Weeping with Joy. For being able to become an elder, Sarutobi Hiruzen even promised to be a great elder. Dongshenyao made no secret of his happiness, and his face was filled with excitement. Tashinyao's expression, Sarutobi Hiruzen is very satisfied, because what he wants is Tashinyao's happiness, and what he wants is his gratitude. After talking about the reward for Dongshenyao, everyone's topic returned to the war. Commander, what should we do next? Pursue the victory, or continue to hold our ground? Of course it's going to take advantage of the victory. How can we endure this? Silver Tiger was the first to express his opinion. I agree with Mr. Silver Tiger's proposal, we can't just do it. My broadsword is thirsty. Soon several Kuan Yin joined in, and although the others did not speak, it could be seen from the expressions on their faces that they were also a little moved. There is no way, because they were too aggrieved during this time, and now they have finally turned over, naturally they have to let out their anger. Even Sarutobi Hiruzen is very much in favor of this decision. As the agent Hokage, he now desperately needs a victory to secure his position. But at this moment, Nara Jawei spoke. Down everyone, although we have the upper hand now, but this has a premise that Tsuchikage is not there. Once Tsuchikage returns, then the advantage we have finally won will be gone, so the priority is not how to deal with Iwagakure, but it is to investigate the situation of Tsuchikage. Quote. Nara Jawei's words came to everyone's heart at once. Although it was not very pleasant, it was a fact. If Tsuchikage fought again in the next battle, they would still lose. Well, now we'll find a way to find out about Tsuchikage. As soon as Sarutobi Hiruzen finished speaking, Tashinyao stood up, and at the same time there was an extra scroll in his hand. Lord Hokage, Tsuchikage is dead. Sarutobi Hiruzen was very comfortable hearing this Hokage-sama from Tashinyao, but he didn't show it, as if he didn't hear it, and turned his attention to other things. Tashinyao, you said that Tsuchikage died. Did you see it with your own eyes? Of course I didn't suspect you, but this matter is very important and cannot be neglected. Sarutobi Hiruzen explained. Lord Hokage, I saw Tsuchikage die with my own eyes, and his body is with me. Said, Dongshenyao raised his hand, and everyone saw the scroll he was holding in his hand. At this time, Sarutobi Hiruzen couldn't sit still, and when he got up to get the scroll, Silver Tiger took the scroll first, and then he didn't speak, just opened the scroll nervously. Dongshenyao used was a simple sealing technique to seal Tsuchikage's corpse in this scroll, so Silver Tiger untied the seal effortlessly. Solution. Seeing the Silver Tiger hand seal, He pressed his palm on the scroll and drank lightly. Bang! The smoke burst, and everyone's eyes were all on the scroll at this time. Soon the smoke cleared and a corpse was revealed. However, at this time, the corpse was very miserable. Skin on its entire body was gone, revealing the flesh and blood of fresh flesh. However, as old rivals, Silver Tiger and the others could still tell from the broken face that it was indeed the second generation. Tsuchikage. It's him, it's really Tsuchikage. A quasi-shadow exclaimed, his face full of joy. Ha ha ha, great, Tsuchikage is dead too. Everyone was very excited, laughing loudly, venting their anguish. Even the always wise Narajiwe and Sarutobi Hiruzen, who was the third generation of Hokage, did not hide their emotions at this moment. They all laughed and laughed. Laughing, there were tears in everyone's eyes. The laughter was loud, and some ninjas outside heard it, but they didn't care, they just thought it was a victory. So Sarutobi Hiruzen and the others were happy, but they didn't know that it was all because of the news of Tsuchikage's death. There were tears in Narashimi's eyes as he thought of his two good friends, the deputy chief of the Yamanaka clan and the Akamichi clan. Three of them have played together since childhood, and later became a ninja and formed a team together. The three have been friends for decades. But it was during the previous war that the deputy chiefs of the two clans sacrificed themselves to protect Narajiwe. Every time she thought of this, Narajiwe couldn't help but feel sad in her heart. Don't worry, I will definitely avenge you. Narajiwe thought fiercely in her heart. After more than half an hour, everyone gradually calmed down. At this time, Sarutobi Hiruzen remembered to ask Dong Shenyao what happened. Toshikage, where did you get Tsuchikage's body? Was he killed by Mizukage? In the inquiring gazes of the crowd, Dong Shenyao sorted out the language a little, and then explained what happened little by little. In the previous battle, after I killed my opponent, I started to look for Tsuchikage and Mizukage. Later, I found them in a canyon. At that time, the two were fighting very fiercely, so I hid in the dark and watched. In the end, Tsuchikage used Jinten particle style to kill Mizukage, but Mizukage used a ninjutsu before he died. This ninjutsu did not disappear after his death, but took advantage of Tsuchikage to relax after killing Mizukage, a little careless. Case, killed Tsuchikage. Quote. After listening to what Dong Shenyao told, everyone was sighing. Who would have thought that the dignified generation Tsuchikage would die like this in the end? I have to say that Tsuchikage died very embarrassed, but if he could be more careful, it won't be like this. Unfortunately Tsuchikage is dead, and regret is useless. However, this is a wake-up call for Sarutobi Hiruzen and the others, letting them know that even if the enemy is dead in the future battle, they cannot relax their vigilance. Or in future generations. Because Mizukage's body was turned into a molecule, I didn't get it, but Tsuchikage's body was kept. I thought it was a shadow's body after all, and it should have some use, so I took it back. Tashinyao, you've done a great job. With this, we can not only confirm the news of Tsuchikage's death, but also use it to dampen the morale of Iwagakure village. Narajiwe was overjoyed, and then he looked at Sarutobi Hiruzen and said, Commander, since the news of Tsuchikage's death has been confirmed, we can directly pursue the victory. Chapter 311 Fight Again. Reason why they didn't choose to pursue the victory was because they were afraid that Tsuchikage would come back and they would still be unable to beat Iwagakure. But now that they are sure that Tsuchikage is dead, they can attack Iwagakure unscrupulously, and to their delight, even Mizukage is dead. Kurigakure loses Mizukage, and it is impossible to attack the Land of Fire in a short time, so Konoha can safely deal with Iwagakure and Sunagakure without worrying about Kurigakure attacking them. Immediately, Sarutobi Hiruzen began to dispatch troops, and even planned to write a letter back to transfer some of the ninjas left behind in the village. Because there is no need to worry about Kurigakure village, these ninjas who stay behind do not need to continue to stay in the village. Although they had just experienced the battle, many people were still injured, but they did not intend to rest at all. Sarutobi Hiruzen has made a decision to take the initiative to attack the camp in Iwagakure village tomorrow. After the negotiation, Sarutobi Hiruzen did not waste time, and directly asked everyone to go back to have a good rest, so as to raise their spirits to face tomorrow's battle. Iwagakure village immediately. In a blink of an eye, a day passed, and in the early morning of the next day, everyone gathered directly after eating. Go! With a big wave of Sarutobi Hiruzen's hand, everyone walked out of the fortress and went straight to the Iwagakure village camp. 880 before the Konoha ninja arrived at the Iwagakure village camp, the spies from Iwagakure village had already discovered it and rushed back to report to Onoki. Knowing that the Konoha village ninjas had launched an attack, Onoki frowned. Damn, what happened to Konoha village? They just finished the fight yesterday, don't they need to rest? Where did the teacher go? Why hasn't he come back? Is it in danger? Thinking of this, Onoki was a little worried. How could the mere Mizukage be the teacher's opponent? The teacher must be injured and is recovering outside. Konoha village will let you be arrogant for a while, and when the teacher comes back, it will be the end of you. Thinking of this, Onoki directly it was ordered that all Iwagakure not leave the camp, relying on the camp to fend off the attack of the village of Konoha. Soon the crowd from Konoha village stopped 100 meters away from the camp in Iwagakure village. Sarutobi Hiruzen, I didn't expect you, a shrewd tortoise, to dare to come out today, it's really strange. Onoki flew out of the camp and joked. Onoki, you Iwagakure's proud days are over, and today is the start of our Konoha village counter-offensive. You are too arrogant, Sarutobi Hiruzen, don't think that you can beat our Iwagakure village if my teacher is not in the camp now, that's just wishful thinking. Onoki showed no weakness. Ha ha ha, Onoki, you don't know yet, your Tsuchikage is dead. Sarutobi's voice instantly spread through the entire Iwagakure village camp under the influence of ninjutsu, and all the Iwagakure heard it immediately, and their faces changed greatly, but most people didn't believe it. Sarutobi Hiruzen, you only know these little tricks. My teacher is so powerful, how can he die? Onoki didn't believe it at all. Look at what this is. Sarutobi Hiruzen didn't say much, and directly hung Tsuchikage's body with a stick that was transformed into a monkey demon. What's that? Because the stick became very high, many Iwagakure in the camp saw it, and they found a bloody corpse hanging on the stick. Onoki, this is your teacher's body, now you Tsuchikage are dead, the end of Iwagakure village has come. Possible, it's not true. Sarutobi Hiruzen, don't think you can deceive me with a corpse, I won't believe it. Yes, this can't be Tsuchikage's body. That's right, Konoha village is here to fight us, don't believe it. The ninjas of Iwagakure village shouted, but it is unknown what they were thinking. Sarutobi Hiruzen didn't want to talk to Onoki, so he waved his hand directly. Doden, Earth-style troops strike. With Sarutobi Hiruzen's order, hundreds of ninjas came out. Compared to the beginning, the Doden Earth-style troops were considerably smaller. There were 500 people before, but now there are less than 300. Doden Earth-style earthquake. One used the same kind of ninjutsu at the same time, and the power was amazing. The ground shook, and the fortifications outside the camp also shook. Quick, hold on. Onoki shouted quickly. Orders, many Iwagakure shot and began to stabilize the ground. Iwagakure village is best at Doden Earth-style ninjutsu, so when the Konoha village attack was over, Iwagakure village's fortifications were not destroyed. It's useless, it's a joke to use Doden Earth-style in front of our Iwagakure village. Onoki said dismissively. Let me come. Just when Sarutobi Hiruzen was about to let the other escaping troops take action, Toshinyao stood up. The ground near the main camp of Iwagakure village has been specially reinforced, and ordinary ninjutsu cannot be shaken at all, but Dong Shenyao doesn't care about it. Playing Doden Earth-style in front of him with the blood of the earth is not a good thing. For abuse. I saw Dong Shenyao walk directly forward dozens of meters. Seeing only one person, the people in Iwagakure village were a little puzzled and didn't know what one person could do, and Onoki even laughed. Sarutobi Hiruzen, are you Konoha stupid to send someone out? Does he think he is Uchiha Madara? Stupid. Dong Shenyao smiled disdainfully. I'll let you know who is stupid in a while. Thinking of this, Dong Shenyao put his hands on the ground. Slides and earthquakes. Boom. The ground suddenly shook violently, even more severely than the hundreds of ninjas who shot at the same time before. Not good. Onoki was startled. He knew that he underestimated Dong Shenyao. Quickly stabilize the ground. In fact, no need for Onoki's reminder, the Iwagakure have already acted. But it was useless. Although the shaking of the earth eased a little, it still continued. Crack. Suddenly there was a roar from the ground, and then a crack appeared on the ground. Appearance of this crack, the earth completely collapsed, and the cracks appeared one after another in a short period of time, and they became bigger and bigger. Boom. The ground collapsed, and many of the defenses set up in Iwagakure village collapsed. How could this be? Onoki was dumbfounded. Chapter 312 Self-Destruct. Boom. Under the watchful eyes of Onoki and other Iwagakure, the ground collapsed, cracks appeared, and soon some of the stone walls erected outside the Iwagakure camp collapsed, and many traps were also destroyed. Looking at all this, Onoki was dumbfounded. He didn't expect someone to be able to do all this alone. How did he do it? Possible, even a strong cage-level person can't do it. At this time, Onoki was a little scared. He wondered if Dong Shenyao had surpassed the cage level. Can only be said that Onoki thinks too much. Dong Shenyao's current strength is still a long way from the real cage level, not to mention the super cage level, and the reason why he is able to achieve even cage level powerhouse is what can't be done can only be said to be specialized in surgery. For Dong Shenyao, who has the blood of the earth, the Iwagakure's reinforcement of the earth is useless at all, so Dong Shenyao can do it alone. The ninjas of Iwagakure village were dumbfounded, but Sarutobi Hiruzen did not. Seeing that the defense of the camp was destroyed, how could he miss such a good opportunity? Team Kaden, Fire Style, Unit Raiden, Thunder Style, Unit Futon, Wind Style. Following Sarutobi Hiruzen's order, everyone immediately shot in unison. A large number of ninjutsu flew out, and went straight to the camp of Iwagakure village. Not good. Quickly defend. This time, Onoki also came back to his senses and hurriedly shouted. One after another stone walls rose again, but they forgot that the shaking of the earth was still continuing, and the stone walls had just risen, and soon collapsed again. Boom. Finally, a large number of ninjutsu entered the camp, and hundreds of Iwagakure died in an instant. At this time, Onoki looked at Dong Shenyao with his eyes open to Yuhi. He could not wait to get Dong Shenyao's cramps out, because all of this was caused by Dong Shenyao. As for Onoki's vicious gaze, Dong Shenyao didn't take it to heart. By now, Dong Shenyao was also a little tired. After a wave of attacks, Dong Shenyao returned to the team. At this time, Sarutobi Hiruzen still did not order a charge, but continued to let everyone use ninjutsu and ninja tools to attack. Facing the long-range attack of the Konoha ninja, Iwagakure village could only passively defend, but because there was no interference from Tashinyao, this time Iwagakure village made a lot of stone walls again. After 3 rounds of attacks, a lot of people died in Iwagakure village. This, Sarutobi Hiruzen no longer let people continue to use ninjutsu, but directly launched a general attack. Go! The Konoha ninja shouted and rushed towards the Iwagakure camp, and the ones who ran at the front were the Konoha village masters such as Sarutobi Hiruzen. Go! Onoki didn't show weakness, and after saying hello, he rushed up to meet Sarutobi Hiruzen, and the battle broke out immediately. Between the two sides Zunying and cage-level masters, they left the battlefield tacitly and looked for another place to fight. Meteorites fall. House of Flying Daggers. The technique of quicksand. Dong Shenyao directly released a few map cannons in the Iwagakure camp, and then left, and it was these skills that gained Dong Shenyao a lot of magic points. A few miles away from the main camp of Iwagakure village, a group of cage-level and quasi-cage-level masters scuffled together. Sides fought very fiercely. Whether it was the ninjas of Iwagakure village or Konoha village, the two sides were already mortal enemies, because they both had friends die at the hands of the opponent. Time passed slowly, and because it was a melee, it was difficult to kill people, even if Konoha village had the upper hand. In the blink of an eye, the battle had been going on for several hours, and at this time, many people were covered in paint, and a quasi-shadow of Iwagakure village lost an arm, but even so, he still insisted. Fortunately, as a quasi-cage, taijutsu is also not weak, so although he can't use ninjutsu after losing his arm, his strength has not decreased too much. Give me death. With a loud roar, Silver slammed the kunai into the heart of an Iwagakure. Murai. Seeing that their own people were killed, the Iwagakure's eyes were disgusting, and they could not wait to smash the silver tiger into pieces. Damn it. I want to avenge Murai, so kill me. Iwagakure, who lost his arm before, went crazy, because the Iwagakure who just died was just to save him, so he was killed by Silver Tiger. Let's die together. At this moment, the man had a wicked smile on his face, and seeing this Silver Tiger had a bad premonition in his heart. Boom. Armed Iwagakure's body exploded directly. It turned out that he directly detonated the detonating talisman. Because the distance was relatively close, many people were affected, even the village of Iwagakure was no exception, and 2 ninjas were affected. No. Seeing that the companion chose to die with the enemy, the remaining Iwagakure was saddened. Silver Tiger. Sarutobi Hiruzen et al. Were also somewhat concerned. The smoke dissipated, and I saw Silver Tiger standing on the ground covered in blood. Although he was seriously injured, he was not dead. At the same time, next to Silver Tiger, there were several Konoha village quasi-cages who were also injured. Damn Iwagakure. Silver Tiger roared. The explosion just now really scared him and almost killed him, so Silver Tiger wanted revenge. Soon another quasi-shadow from Iwagakure village was hit hard. Seeing that he could not survive, a sneer appeared on the corner of his mouth. PFF'd. The shadow-cutting knife pierced through the man's back, and the tip of the knife penetrated from the front of his chest. Tashinyao, be careful. Seeing Iwagakure's sneer, a Konoha ninja hurriedly reminded him. Boom. Another explosion, and the Iwagakure chose to end his life in this way. Tashinyao. Seeing this scene, Uehara was worried, but he was now entangled by an Iwagakure, so he couldn't check the situation of Tashinyao. Soon the smoke dissipated, and the figure of Dong Shenyao was revealed. I saw that Dong Shenyao had lost a small part of his body, but surprisingly, no blood came out. It's so dangerous. Dong Shenyao was glad that he had elementalization, otherwise he would be seriously injured if he didn't die. A large number of rocks gathered towards Dong Shenyao's body, and he soon returned to normal, but this time Dong Shenyao's consumption was not small. Seeing that 2 Iwagakure detonated the detonating talisman in a row, but none of the Konoha ninjas died, which made the remaining Iwagakure feel sad. Fight. Boom. Another Iwagakure was seriously injured and knew that he would not survive, so he also detonated the detonator, and before detonating the detonator, he used ninjutsu to trap a Konoha village junkage. Konoha village ninjas who were affected this time were not so lucky, and their bodies were directly blown to pieces. Everyone be careful, Sarutobi Hiruzen quickly reminded me. In fact, without Sarutobi Hiruzen saying that, everyone in Konoha village was already alert and did not dare to push Iwagakure too much. Chapter 313 Iwagakure Retreat. Seeing that Iwagakure was so cruel, and would die with them at any time, Konoha ninjas were also afraid. After all, everyone is human, and they are afraid of death, especially now that the victory has been established. Because they didn't dare to push Iwagakure too much, Sarutobi Hiruzen and the others slowed down their offensive a little to give the Iwagakure a chance to breathe. For a while, the two sides fell into a stalemate. Although Konoha village had the upper hand, it was difficult to kill Onoki and the others. Not to mention whether they could keep the two cage-level masters from Iwagakure village, even if they did, wait for it. After the end of the war, I am afraid that there are not many people who can survive Sarutobi Hiruzen and the others. Of course, Sarutobi Hiruzen and the others cannot do such a lose-lose thing. In fact, when Konoha village was at a disadvantage, Sarutobi Hiruzen and the others did the same. Many of the dead in Konoha village also used various methods before dying, trying to find a way to perish with their opponents. It was this method that made Iwagakure village. Had to be careful, and that's why Konoha village persisted until now. The battle was over from the daytime to the evening. Sarutobi Hiruzen and others dragged their tired bodies and returned to the fortress with their subordinates. As for Iwagakure, the camp had been destroyed at this time, so they could only stay in the wild. Commander, what should we do? As soon as the battle was over, the senior officials of the Iwagakure village gathered together, all staring at Onoki. Onoki is not only the commander, but also the grandson of the first-generation Tsuchikage, and also the disciple of the second-generation Tsuchikage. He has a dignified position in the village of Iwagakure, and he is a cage-level powerhouse, so everyone will listen to his words. Although I don't want to admit it, teacher, he may really be dead, he said with a sad look on his face. Others didn't speak, but their faces were not good-looking. Not only were they sad because of Tsuchikage's death, but they were also confused about the next war. Now we are no longer the opponent of Konoha village, so we can only retreat now, return to the land of the earth, and then use the geographical advantage to resist the attack of Konoha village. Just gave up. We finally forced Konoha to this point. And Iwagakure was obviously a little unwilling. What if we don't give up? If we continue to stay here, I'm afraid we won't survive. Onoki didn't want to do this either, but as a commander, he couldn't do everything according to his own thoughts, and he had to worry about other people's lives. Just like Sarutobi Hiruzen before, he didn't want to retreat, but he had to. One knows the difficulties of Iwagakure village now, so they will not refute. That night, Onoki and the others brought their subordinates back to the land of the earth. As for Dongshenyao and the others, after returning to the fortress, they first dealt with the aftermath, and then directly opened a celebration dinner. It wasn't until late at night that everyone went back to rest. That night, almost everyone in the fort had a smile on their faces. Even though some of them lost their relatives and some lost friends during the battle not long ago, they were still happy at this moment, because they finally, after defeating Iwagakure, it's time for revenge. The next day, Dongshenyao didn't get up until noon. After taking a shower, when Dongshenyao was about to eat, a ninja informed him that Sarutobi Hiruzen was looking for him. When Dongshenyao came to the council hall, he found that the upper floors of the fortress were all there, and there was a table in the hall with a lot of food on it. East Shenyao, you're here, it's your turn, come and sit. As soon as East Shenyao entered the hall, Sarutobi Hiruzen enthusiastically pulled him over. Lord Hokage, didn't you come here just to eat? Shenyao asked after sitting down. Eating is only part of it, and it's time to discuss the next plan. Plan? Yes, I got information that the Iwagakure have retreated, and it seems that they are preparing to return to the land of the land. Next, we need to discuss what to do next. Sarutobi Hiruzen explained. That's it. Okay, everyone is here, let's have dinner. When Sarutobi Hiruzen finished speaking, everyone was polite and picked up chopsticks to eat. However, everyone did not patronize the meal, nor did they forget to discuss the next actions during the meal. However, he did not express any opinion on these. Dongshenyao, from listening to everyone talking, he was eating. In the end, the discussion was almost over, and Dongshenyao was also full. East Shenyao, I see that you haven't spoken. What do you think about your next move? Nara Jawei suddenly asked. Me. Dong Shenyao was taken aback. He didn't expect that Nara Jawei would suddenly mention himself, but he quickly reacted. I don't have any opinions. Everyone said it well. This battle will definitely not end easily. Suffered so many losses before. Now we have finally turned our losses into victory. Of course, Iwagakure must be taught a lesson. Dong Shenyao's face was fierce. He said that, but he got the approval of everyone present. It can be said that at this time, except Sarutobi Hiruzen, everyone else wanted to continue fighting. Only Sarutobi Hiruzen hesitated, but he didn't say anything. In fact, according to Sarutobi Hiruzen's thoughts, he intends to negotiate with Iwagakure village now. After all, if he continues to fight, it is impossible to destroy Iwagakure village. It's just that now everyone else wants to continue fighting. Sarutobi Hiruzen knows that even if he is the commander, it is useless, so he can only suppress the thoughts in his heart. Since you all said so, then we will cultivate in the fortress for a few days, and then go directly to the land of the land. Excellent. Fuck him, motherfucker. Crowd immediately cheered. Of course, most of the people here are for revenge, but Dong Shenyao is different. The reason why he agrees is entirely for the sake of creating gods. After all, apart from tasks, only people can get gods by killing people. 5 days later, after recuperation, everyone in Konoha village has basically recovered, and their state has reached their peak. Of course, there are also some ninjas whose injuries are so severe that it is impossible to recover in a short period of time. But Sarutobi Hiruzen and the others couldn't wait any longer. Early this morning, Sarutobi Hiruzen left the fortress with a large group and headed straight for the land of the land. At noon the next day, the group arrived at the border of the land of the land. Like Konoha village, Iwagakure village also built a fortress on the border of the land of the land, and finally Sarutobi Hiruzen ordered to set up camp 10 kilometers away from the fortress. Chapter 314 completed in one battle. Konoha village is chasing after us, what should we do next? Inside the fortress of the land of earth, a group of high-level officials from Iwagakure village sat together. The soldiers will block the water and cover the soil. Now I can only take a step and see. Onoki said helplessly. Who would have thought that Konoha was about to be defeated, but at this critical moment, a Mizukage popped up. Tsuchikage for so many days. At this time, Onoki is 100% sure that his master, the second-generation Tsuchikage, is dead. Sir, are we going to lose? The ninja said, and everyone fell silent. Lost, they didn't even think about the word 10 days ago, but now, they have to face it. Actually, don't be so pessimistic. You must know that Iwagakure is not the only enemy in Konoha village. Now Konoha village is still at war with Sunagakure village. As long as we can persevere and persist until Sunagakure village defeats Konoha, then we can still turn defeat into victory. Hope. Hearing this Iwagakure's words, everyone's eyes lit up. However, unlike the others, Onoki shook his head secretly. He had already heard that, although Konoha was at a disadvantage in the battle against Sunagakure village on the 15th, Sunagakure alone could not defeat Konoha. But of course Onoki can't say this. After all, once it is said, it will dampen the enthusiasm of others. Konoha ninjas did not attack the day they arrived at the border of the land, but focused their energy on setting up a camp. The next day, the Konoha ninjas rested for a day, and did not attack until the third day. Sides are already old opponents, and they don't need to talk nonsense, they just set up their battles and fight. The fight between the two sides is 3 months. During these 3 months, the Konoha village attacked almost every 2 or 3 days, but most of the time it was small, with 2 or 3 large-scale attacks every month. During these 3 months, both sides suffered heavy casualties, but in general, it was the Iwagakure side that suffered the most. Although they have a geographical advantage, the losses are more than Konoha village because of their lack of overall strength. Moreover, in the past 3 months, several quasi-shadows in Iwagakure village have died again. Now the number of quasi-shadows in Iwagakure village is less than 3, and the quasi-shadows in Konoha village have also lost, but the number is still more than that of Iwagakure village. There are 6 more. Everyone, this war has dragged on for a long time. Not long ago, our companions in another battlefield sent us a letter asking for help, so we must strive to end this war as soon as possible. Inside the tent, Sarutobi Hiruzen said seriously. Is the battle situation in Sunagakure village getting too tight? Well, I don't know what's going on. The attack on Sunagakure village has become much more intense in the last month, and now it's a bit too much to bear. Hearing the news from Sarutobi Hiruzen, everyone was also a little nervous. Commander, let's launch a general attack. Yes, launch a general attack and try to take the fortress at one time. Hearing everyone's words, Sarutobi Hiruzen glanced at everyone present, and said behind his eyes, "Okay, everyone, get ready, and launch a general attack tomorrow, and it will be all in one battle." Yes. After the meeting, everyone dispersed, and on their way back, Dongshinyao knew that tomorrow would be the last battle with Iwagakure village. Once the fortress was broken, Iwagakure village would only have to surrender. Otherwise, Konoha village would have to surrender, and drive straight to the village of Iwagakure. The battle with Iwagakure village is finally over, and Sunagakure village is next. The next morning, after everyone gathered, they headed straight to the fortress. After 3 months of fighting, the fortress of the land is still standing there, but although the fortress doesn't seem to have changed much from 3 months ago, its defense has actually dropped a lot. Although Iwagakure village repairs the fortress every day, the most is to repair the city wall. As for the seal formations arranged on the city walls, they have already been destroyed, and these sealing formations cannot be repaired in a short time. Onoki. Sarutobi Hiruzen came out of the line. Sarutobi Hiruzen. Onoki's figure appeared on the city wall. He will win or lose the battle today, and I will definitely break the fortress. Sarutobi Hiruzen, don't talk big, as long as I'm here, the fortress will not be broken. Onoki was full of momentum. Battle! Battle! The two shouted at the same time, and then saw that Onoki led the Iwagakure village master jumping off the city wall and went straight to Sarutobi Hiruzen. At the same time, the masters of Konoha village were not to be outdone and also dispatched. Finger piercing. Before the two sides approached, Dong Shenyao had already made his move. Compared with 3 months ago, Dong Shenyao's strength has increased again, but he still hasn't sold the hurdle of cage level. Now the quality of Dong Shenyao chakra is comparable to that of the peak elite Jonin, and it is only 1 step away from the quasi-shadow. At this time, the advantages of the immortal body have been reflected, and the improvement speed of Dong Shenyao chakra is getting faster and faster. The quality of chakra has not yet reached the quasi-shadow, the quantity has broken through again and has reached the level of cage level. Now, if the number of chakras is 390, Dong Shenyao is less than the people in the early stage of cage level. Although Ta Shenyao's skills are very powerful, the enemy is not weak, so his 10-finger piercing bullets did not cause any damage to Iwagakure, and the two sides quickly got together in a melee. The two sides added together more than 10 people, and from the open space in front of the fortress, they hit the wasteland several miles away. Seeing that the masters of both sides had already left, the remaining Konoha ninjas shot. At this time, the number of Iwagakure masters was far less than that of Konoha, so at the beginning of the battle, Konoha used more to bully less. Of course, Dong Shenyao didn't ask anyone to help, but found an Iwagakure by himself, and finally pressed him step by step, directly forcing the Iwagakure away from the battlefield. Seeing that he was far away from the others, Dong Shenyao made a bold move. Gravity Field. House of Flying Daggers. Meteorites fall. Skills poured out in a row, and Iwagakure, who was fighting against him, was in a hurry. Raiden Thunder Style False Darkness. Futon Wind Style Wind Blade. And the meteorites in the sky were bombarded, and the wind blades surrounded Iwagakure, constantly destroying the surrounding soil forms. Boom! The meteorite, which had shrunk by less than a quarter, smashed to the ground, making a deafening sound. Chapter 315 Surrender of Iwagakure Village Part 1. Under the lightning, the size of the meteorite was only reduced by less than a quarter, and then it smashed directly to the ground. Under the violent impact, smoke and dust were set off, and a small mushroom cloud rose into the sky. When the smoke cleared, a deep crater appeared on the ground, and a huge meteorite appeared in the center of the crater. And the Iwagakure was at the edge of the pit at this time, with injuries on his body. He tried to dodge, he still did not dodge completely. PFF. Before Iwagakure could breathe a sigh of relief, Dong Shenyao had already emerged from the ground behind him, and the shadow-chopping blade slashed, bringing a bloody glow. Iwagakure's heart throbbed for a while, and if he hadn't dodged in time, he would have died by the Shadow Slayer. Seeing that Iwagakure dodged, Tashinyao chased after his victory and kept attacking Iwagakure with a knife. At this time, the field of gravity still existed, and Iwagakure's speed dropped a lot, and it didn't take long for a lot of wounds to appear on his body. He also wanted to stay away from Tashinyao, but unfortunately he couldn't. Tashinyao stalked Iwagakure like a gangrene. Shinra Tensai Almighty Push sign. A sudden repulsion was issued, and the sudden change made Iwagakure unable to resist at all, and his body flew out directly, and finally fell to the ground. Earth Style 10 Dragons. Give me death. Boom. The ground around Iwagakure shook for a while, and then 10 giant rock dragons poured out. As soon as these giant dragons appeared, they went straight to Iwagakure to charge. Boom. The explosion sounded, and plumes of smoke rose into the sky. Dong Shenyao's Byakugan has been opened, and seeing Iwagakure being hit by a giant dragon, he has only half his life left and falls to the ground. Not waiting for the smoke to dissipate, Dong Shenyao poured out the instant body technique, and his body was directly submerged in the smoke. Give me death. Iwagakure quasi-shadow roared, and the next moment, a dazzling white light burst out from his body, causing the 2 Konoha ninjas who besieged him to close their eyes unconsciously. Not good. Boom. Explosion sounded, so Iwagakure directly blew himself up. This was not the use of a detonating charm, but a Kaiden fire-style ninjutsu developed by himself. After this Iwagakure blew himself up, a fire ignited directly around his body. The flames covered a distance of several hundred meters and drowned the bodies of 2 Konoha ninjas. After a few seconds, the flames disappeared, revealing 2 Konoha ninjas. At this time, the 2 of them were completely black, like coke, and they didn't know if they were alive or dead. PFF. Blood splattered, and at the same time as the explosion, Tashinyao cut off Iwagakure's head with a shadow cutter. The sound of the explosion, Dong Shenyao looked worried. When the flame went out, Dong Shenyao rushed over immediately. Checking the situation of the 2 Konoha ninjas, Dong Shenyao found that one of them was dead, and the other, although not dead, was also seriously injured. If it is not treated in time, he will die soon. Teacher, you can't die. At this time, Tashinyao had already recognized that the seriously injured Konoha ninja was Kei Uehara. Kei Uehara was originally just a quasi-kage who had made a breakthrough not long ago. It is a miracle that he was able to survive until now, because many quasi-cages who were stronger than him in the past have also died. Of course, this is also related to the fact that Kei Uehara is good at Doden, Earth Style. After all, Doden, Earth Style, is stronger in defense than the other 3 attributes of ninjutsu. I saw Dong Shenyao's pupils covered with color lenses appeared 3 tomo, and then the 3 tomo quickly turned, and finally changed into a shuriken-like mark. At this time, Dong Shenyao had turned on Ekio. If Tashinyao's own medical ninjutsu alone, it would be impossible to save Kei Uehara, so now he can only use Mangekyo's skills to control the force of life, and directly use the force of life to heal Kei Uehara. I saw a green light emerging between Dong Shenyao's hands, but this was not the chakra of medical ninjutsu, but pure life force. Under the control of Sharingan's skills, Dong Shenyao input the life force in his hand into Uehara Kai's body, which is Dong Shenyao, and it is impossible to do this easily if it is another person. After all, a person's life force is limited, and once exhausted, he will die. And inputting the power of one's own life into other people's body, although it can save people's lives, but it is to sacrifice their own lives. Just like the mother-in-law Chiyo in the original book, in order to save Gaara, she gave Gaara her life force. Although Gaara lived in the end, mother-in-law Chiyo died. But Dong Shenyao doesn't care. For him, the most worthless thing is the power of life, because he can continuously absorb the power of life from the earth. Theory, as long as Dong Shenyao stands on the ground, the power of life is infinite. As the power of life continued to pour into Kai Uehara's body, his injury gradually stabilized. A few minutes later, Kai Uehara's injuries were more than half healed. Although he was still in a coma, his life was no longer in danger. Seeing this, Dong Shenyao stopped. It's almost there. If he recovers directly, it would be too appalling. Although Dong Shenyao can directly make Uehara Chi recover, in order not to attract other people's attention, Dong Shenyao is not prepared to do so. Anyway, he has kept Uehara Chi's life. After confirming that Kai Uehara was all right, Dong Shenyao first breathed a sigh of relief, then turned to look at the battlefield. This time, Dong Shenyao discovered that the 3 quasi-shadows in Iwagakure village had died, and only 2 cage-level masters were still lingering on. However, the loss of Konoha village was not small. Ki Uehara was seriously injured, and 1 person died. Except for Dong Shenyao, the remaining 3 Quenying were also injured, but the injuries were minor. And Dong Shenyao found out that 2 of the 3 less injured quasi-shadows turned out to be the other 2 disciples of Senju Tobarama, Homura Mitokado and Kaharu Udatane, and the remaining 1 was the young patriarch of the Hyuga clan, Hyuga Wild Bear. As expected of a disciple of Senju Tobarama, his strength is extraordinary. Then Tashinyao looked at the 5 cage-level masters who were fighting. At this time, the 3 of Homura Mitokado were watching the battle. After all, their strength was still a little bit weaker, and they were injured, so they couldn't participate in the cage-level battle. Seeing that the situation was over, the remaining 2 Iwagakure were anxious. "Commander, hurry up," Chuan shouted at Onoki. "No, I won't leave you," Onoki said stubbornly. "Commander, you are my last hope in Iwagakure village, you can't die. None of you can leave today," Sarutobi Hiruzen snapped. "Sorry, this chapter is a bit late." Chapter 316 Surrender of Iwagakure Village Part 2. None of you can leave. After shouting loudly, Sarutobi Hiruzen couldn't help but step up the attack. Let's go." After saying that, Kajagawa's momentum rose, and then he saw that he gave up his defense and let Sarutobi Hiruzen's attack hit him. PFF'd. Blood poured out, and Ying Chuan was seriously injured in an instant. "Ha ha ha, accompany me to hell." With a grin, Ying Chuan's body suddenly burst into flames, and it turned out that a large number of detonating talismans were burning. No. Seeing this scene, Onoki's eyes were split, and he knew that his companion was using his life to stop the enemy in order to let him leave. "I swear by Onoki that I will avenge you in this life." After glaring at Sarutobi and the others, Onoki rushed towards the fortress without looking back. Sarutobi Hiruzen and others were avoiding Iwagakure's self-destruction at this time, so they could only watch Onoki leave. Boom! Silver Tiger, who was closest to him, and was instantly engulfed by a large amount of flames. Immediately afterwards, Jiro Yoshikawa was not spared, and only Sarutobi Hiruzen ran out. The explosions took several seconds, and after more than a minute, the smoke dissipated, and there was a large crater on the ground. Silver Tiger! Sarutobi Hiruzen cried out in grief. It turned out that the Silver Tiger was torn apart by the explosion, and Yoshikawa Jiro, although the situation was not very good, at least survived. Death of a cage-level master made Sarutobi Hiruzen very sad, knowing that even when the second-generation Tsuchikage was alive, their situation was so difficult, and no cage-level master fell. Lord Hokage, is not the time to be sad. Let's break through the fortress as soon as possible while the masters of Iwagakure village are all lost. At this time, Toshinyao came over and reminded. I see. After suppressing the sadness in his heart, Sarutobi Hiruzen took the seriously injured Yoshikawa Jiro and walked towards the fortress. Seeing this, Dong Shenyao carried Kai Uehara on his back and followed. The group of people returned to the battlefield. After Sarutobi Hiruzen and Toshinyao handed over the wounded to the care of others, the five took action. A cage-level master, plus 4 quasi-shadows, this lineup is very powerful for ordinary ninjas. Not long after Onoki returned to the fortress, he saw Sarutobi Hiruzen and others came back, and he knew that the fortress could not be kept. Although the situation in Konoha village is not very good now, but at least 4 more quasi-shadows than Iwagakure, this is enough to win. Retreat. In order to reduce casualties, Onoki could only reluctantly abandon the fortress. Seeing that Iwagakure was about to run, how could the Konoha ninja agree, and hurriedly chased after him. At the same time, Dong Shenyao and the others also shot. In the end, everyone went straight into the land for dozens of miles before they stopped. We won. Everyone cheered, and at the same time, many people shed tears, and they paid a lot for this day. Not only hard work, but also the loss of relatives and companions. After giving up and continuing to hunt down, everyone returned to the fortress one after another. At this point the fortress has been occupied by the village of Konoha. Konoha village now, Dong Shenyao and the others are very busy, and they even called some elite jonin to help. In the end, Dong Shenyao didn't have time to rest until late at night. The next day, Dong Shenyao got together. Lord Hokage, how are the casualties? At this time, Sarutobi Hiruzen's expression was heavy, and there was a look of sadness in his eyes. Less than 1,000 ninjas alive now, and most of them are injured. So many people died. Dong Shenyao was a little surprised, but he remembered that there were more than 1,400 Konoha ninjas before this battle, and now more than 500 people have died. Iwagakure's resistance was very stubborn, so many people died. Sarutobi Hiruzen regretted. What are we going to do next, is to keep attacking. Kaharu Udatane asked. Attack. What else can we attack? With these people alone, we can't really destroy Iwagakure village. Sarutobi Hiruzen shook his head. What do we do? Homura Mitokado demanded. Wait. Wait for what? Homura Mitokado looked puzzled. Wait until Iwagakure village surrenders. Now Iwagakure village has no strength to fight, they have to surrender. That's fine. Although Iwagakure village can't be destroyed, if they can surrender, we can also get a lot of compensation. Homura Mitokado nodded. Sarutobi Hiruzen expected. 3 days later, a messenger from the village of Iwagakure came to the fortress. What's the matter with you? Sarutobi Hiruzen asked, looking at the messenger in front of him. My lord, I came to surrender in the name of Tsuchikage, the 3rd generation of our Iwagakure village. Iwagakure said with an ugly expression. Surrender, who can be happy? 3 generations of Tsuchikage. Who? Sarutobi Hiruzen was taken aback. Sir Tsuchikage is Lord Onoki. It turned out to be him. Sarutobi Hiruzen heard the words clearly. Then how are you going to surrender now? Sarutobi Hiruzen asked meaningfully. We can pay, but I don't know how much you want. Apparently Iwagakure also knew that surrendering came with a price. I want 100 million taels of money, as well as food and weapons. Sarutobi Hiruzen opened his mouth and asked for a lot of things. Impossible. Iwagakure refused directly. Our village of Iwagakure has just gone through the war, and now there is not much left, how can we get so much indemnity? Then how much do you Iwagakure village ready to give? Sarutobi Hiruzen kicked the ball directly to Iwagakure village. 1 million taels of money. Kidding me. Sarutobi Hiruzen was furious. 1 million taels was just a bounty for an ordinary S-rank quest. We can talk about the specific amount. Iwagakure also knew that the compensation was a bit excessive, but it was all negotiable. You can call the shots. Sarutobi Hiruzen asked. I can't be in charge. Iwagakure answered honestly. What are you going to do if you can't be the master? Let the people who can be the masters come. Sarutobi Hiruzen said dissatisfiedly. The only person who can call the shots in our village is Lord Tsuchikage, the third generation, but Lord Tsuchikage is too busy right now, so I can't come, but if I have something to say, I can convey it on my behalf. Very well, here's a letter that you gave to your 3 generations of Tsuchikage. Saying that, Sarutobi Hiruzen threw the letter that had been prepared for a long time. Yes. After receiving the letter, Iwagakure hurriedly put it away. Chapter 317 Surrender Agreement. As for the negotiation between Iwagakure village and Konoha village, Toshinyao has no interest in taking care of it. Now the war is over for the time being, and it seems that the 2 villages will not fight again in a short time, so Toshinyao also relaxes himself. Of course, his so-called relaxation is not really doing nothing, just not caring about the camp. At this time, Dongshenyao was cultivating in his room most of the time, and he would leave things to Shadow Clone to do. More than 10 days passed in a flash, and Dongshenyao's cultivation had reached a critical moment at this time. Such a long battle, he still practiced, and the bottleneck of Dongshenyao's Yi Jin Jing finally loosened, and he was about to break through to the 7th form. Dongshenyao attaches great importance to this breakthrough, because after this breakthrough, the internal force content in his body will have a huge increase, which is very beneficial to the improvement of his strength, and even Dongshenyao is thinking about whether he can make his combat power reach his cage level. Just when Dongshenyao's cultivation reached a critical moment, the negotiations between Iwagakure village and Konoha village also came to a final juncture. After several exchanges, the 2 sides had basically reached a consensus, and now the only thing left is to sign the surrender agreement. This day, a team from Iwagakure village came to the fortress, led by an elite Jonin from Iwagakure village. Today was the day the 2 sides signed the surrender agreement, so even Dongshenyao went out and participated in person. I've seen Hokage-sama. Although the 2 sides are hostile, respect for the strong is still necessary, and now Iwagakure is in a weak position, so the elite Jonin who came to sign the agreement is extraordinarily humble and treats Sarutobi Hiruzen. A great gift. No gift, I don't know how Onoki is doing now, we are old friends. Sarutobi Hiruzen said with a warm look. Tsuchikage, the 3rd generation, is very good now, but he is a little busy, so I can't come in person this time, and I hope that Lord Hokage will forgive me. These words are high-sounding, but everyone understands. Why are you busy? It's not because you're afraid that you won't be able to go back. Although this fortress is located in the land of the land, it is now occupied by the village of Konoha and belongs to the territory of Konoha. How dare Onoki come here? It's okay, Onoki won't come if he doesn't come, but have you brought all your things? Sarutobi Hiruzen didn't care either, he never thought that Onoki would come. I brought half of it this time, Lord Hokage. You also know the current situation in our Iwagakure village. It is impossible to take out so many things at once, so please ask Lord Hokage for some grace. After signing the agreement, our Iwagakure village will deliver the rest a month ago. Quote. No problem, did you bring the agreement? Eddie brought. Said, the elite Jonin of Iwagakure village took out the 2 scrolls, and then passed them to Sarutobi Hiruzen through the hands of a Konoha ninja. After opening the 2 scrolls at the same time, Sarutobi Hiruzen looked carefully. The contents recorded on the 2 scrolls are the same, and the surrender agreement is made in duplicate. At that time, each of the villages of Konoha and Iwagakure will keep 1 copy. Now both of them have been signed by Onoki, only waiting for Sarutobi Hiruzen to sign too. Of course, this surrender agreement doesn't have much effect, and everything still depends on strength. Once the village of Iwagakure has strength, I am afraid that the surrender agreement will be torn up immediately and war will be waged against the village of Konoha again. Just like the 3 ninja wars in the original book, isn't it all like this? Every time Konoha village defeats the enemy, but in the end, when the enemy's strength recovers, it will attack Konoha again. After reading it carefully and confirming that there is no problem with the content of the agreement, Sarutobi Hiruzen wrote his name on the 2 scrolls respectively. This moment, it also marks the official end of the war between Konoha village and Iwagakure village in the First Ninja World War. Finally I can go back. Many Konoha ninjas thought to themselves. After leaving the village for so long, many people are also homesick. After signing the surrender agreement, the people of Iwagakure village did not leave immediately, but were left behind by Sarutobi Hiruzen to have a meal together. The next day, the people from Iwagakure village left, but all the supplies they brought have been left behind. With these resources, the village of Konoha will recover quickly, and this is the advantage of the victorious nation. The defeated countries will not only lose their troops, but also lose a lot of resources, which will affect their development. After Iwagakure left, Sarutobi Hiruzen called Toshinyao and other high-level officials together again. You probably know about the previous negotiation. I have negotiated with Iwagakure village, and after signing the agreement, I will return the rule of the fortress within 5 days. What if Iwagakure village backs out? Homura Mitokado asked worriedly. Repent. They don't dare. Dong Shenyao said disdainfully. Now that there is only one Onoki left in the village of Iwagakure, and the other quasi-cage and cage-level masters are dead, what capital do they have to fight us? Hearing Toshinyao's words, Homura Mitokado and the others were all relieved. Okay, let's clean up now, and the day after tomorrow we'll return to the land of fire. Following Sarutobi Hiruzen's order, everyone became busy. Although Toshinyao is only the captain of the Dark Blade, but now Konoha is short of manpower, so Toshinyao has to help. Of course, Toshinyao did not forget to visit Kai Uehara. After more than 10 days of cultivation, Uehara-chi had already woken up, but his body was still very weak, and he could only stay in the hospital bed for a long time. Teacher, how are you feeling today? It's good, it's just that my body is a little itchy. I've been lying in bed these days, and they won't let me move. It's really boring. Uehara complained. Teacher, don't think about it, the doctors also want you to recover quickly. I know, it's just a little uncomfortable. Seeing that Kai Uehara looked good, Toshinyao was relieved, and then told Kai Uehara about his upcoming return to Konoha. I'm finally going back, flies so fast. It's been more than a year since I left Konoha. Kai Uehara sighed. He was a little fortunate at this time. Although he was injured, at least he could going back to Konoha. He was lucky compared to the other dead ninjas. After all, even the cage-level Master Silver Tiger fell. 2 days later, the group left the fortress and slowly hurried towards the country on fire. At this time, everyone was reluctant to return, but unfortunately, in order to take care of the wounded, everyone had to slow down, and it took 5 or 6 days to return to Konoha. Chapter 318 Guy Turns Back. The people in Konoha village had already learned the news of the return of the frontline army today. Early in the morning, a large number of villagers and ninjas who stayed behind spontaneously came to the entrance of the village to wait for their heroes to return. For the people of Konoha village, all those who fought on the front lines are heroes, because they are all contributing to defending their homeland, but their contributions are different because of their different abilities. 2 hours have passed, but the people waiting at the entrance of the village are not at all impatient. Look! It's back, people are back. Suddenly someone pointed to the distance and shouted. A few miles away, a dark shadow was rapidly approaching. After a few minutes, everyone could see clearly that the shadow was nearly 1,000 Konoha ninjas. Seeing that the people returning from the front had approached the village, no one knew who suddenly shouted, "Welcome to the return of the hero." The others heard the words as if they had been reminded, and hurriedly shouted, "Welcome back the hero! Welcome back the hero!" In the shouts, Sarutobi Hiruzen and others were deeply moved. They went to the front line to kill the enemy, just for the village to be safe, and now the affirmation of these villagers is the best reward for them. Under the watchful eyes of the Konoha villagers and the left-behind ninjas, Sarutobi Hiruzen and others slowly walked into the village and finally stopped in front of the Hokage building. Sarutobi Hiruzen stood at the front of the line, and Toshinyo and other high-level officials stood beside Sarutobi Hiruzen. "Everyone, I am very happy to be able to come back safely. I'm also very happy to see you so enthusiastic. But what I want to say here is that besides us, those who died on the battlefield are also heroes. Let's wish heroes together. Rest in peace." As soon as Sarutobi Hiruzen finished speaking, many people shed tears, thinking of their dead relatives and friends. "Rip hero. Those go well." Because there were still a lot of wounded in the team, Sarutobi Hiruzen didn't say much. After calming the villagers' emotions, he let everyone go back. Then Sarutobi Hiruzen started to arrange his subordinates to go home. Went to Konoha Hospital for treatment. Dong Shenyao personally took Uehara Chi to the hospital, and after spending some time with him in the ward, he returned home. As soon as he entered the house, Dong Shenyao saw Tsunade sitting in the living room waiting for him. The two looked at each other and didn't speak for a long time. Everything was silent. After a long while, Dong Shenyao took the initiative to walk up and hug Tsunade. "I'm back." A very common sentence, because Dong Shenyao didn't know what to say to express his feelings at this time. "Just come back." Tsunade also seemed very calm, but behind this calm, there were thoughts and worries about Dong Shenyao. It was not until the moment when he saw Dong Shenyao that Tsunade was completely relieved. Neither of them said anything else, nor did they tell each other their thoughts as usual, because the relationship between the two had surpassed that of an ordinary couple at this time, and some words do not need to be said, just a look can understand each other's thoughts. "Yeah, what do you want to eat? I'll make it for you." "Anything, as long as it's Tsunade, I love what you make." Hearing Toshinyao's words, Tsunade's heart was sweet, and he stopped talking immediately and went straight into the kitchen to start cooking for Toshinyao. It didn't take long for dinner to be ready, and the two chatted while eating. "Yao, my mother gave me some younger brothers not long ago." "Really? That's great, congratulations, Tsunade, now you're a big sister." Dong Shenyao congratulated. "Seems that Naoki has already been born, but I don't know what happened to Tsunade's parents in the end. Why wasn't it explained in the original book?" Dong Shenyao thought to himself. "Yeah, I've become a sister. It's a pity that my father is still fighting against Sunagakur village. Although the news has been passed on, he can't come back." Tsunade regretted. "Don't worry, the battle with Iwagakure village is over now, and we can now concentrate on dealing with Sunagakur village. It won't be long before this war ends." Toshinyao comforted. Although Toshinyao didn't know when the first battle in the original book ended, but he knew that according to the current situation, it would not be long before the First Ninja World War ended. "That's great, my father can come back then," Tsunade said happily. After dinner, Dong Shenyao and Tsunade went out for a walk, and after sending Tsunade home, Dong Shenyao went home alone. After returning from the front line, Sarutobi Hiruzen was very busy. After all, since the death of Senju Tobarama, many things in the village have been put on hold. Now that Sarutobi Hiruzen, who is the heir of Hokage, is back, he naturally needs to deal with these backlogs of documents for a long time. Not only Sarutobi Hiruzen, but the entire Konoha village high level is busy, even Toshinyao is no exception. Although he is only the captain of the Dark Blade, due to the death of the former deputy minister of Anbu Silver Tiger, now Anbu has no leader, and Sarutobi Hiruzen is busy with official business and has no time to manage. so in the end he can only temporarily hand over Anbu's affairs to Dong Godshine. After all, the Dark Blade belongs to Anbu, and Dong Shenyao has stayed in Anbu before, and his strength can be recognized by everyone in Anbu, so it is normal to leave this matter to him. It's not easy for Dong Shenyao to refuse this. Anyway, it's more good than bad for him, so Dong Shenyao is also busy. Of course, he is different from others. Dong Shenyao directly separates Shadow Clone to manage it, while the main body concentrates on cultivation and talks with Tsunade from time to time. Of course, while managing Anbu, Dong Shenyao did not forget to develop the Dark Blade, because he knew that Anbu belongs to Hokage after all. He is only managing it on his behalf, and the Dark Blade is his direct line. After such a long war, the loss of the Dark Blade is not small. Now there are only 10 people left, but Tashinyao is relieved that Kudo Shun, Kimura Fumino, and the brothers Hyuga are not dead. It is the strength that is further improved. At this time, even Kudo-jun and Kimura Fumino's combat power is comparable to Jonin. Is now managing Anbu, and the Dark Blade is handed over to Hyuga Aikito and Kimura Fumino. Because of the war, many children in Konoha village became orphans, and their parents died in the battle. These orphans became Dong Shenyao's primary target, and many of them were selected by him and sent to the Dark Blade. These people will be the future pillars of the Dark Blade, Jinchuriki column. Chapter 319 7th Form. Shenyao returned to Konoha. During these 3 days, Dong Shenyao's main body was almost in retreat. Even when Sarutobi Hiruzen was looking for him, Dong Shenyao let the Earth Clone to go. For the past 3 days, Dong Shenyao retreated and put all other things aside, and concentrated on cultivating the Yi Jinjing. As early as a few months ago, Dong Shenyao's Jin Yi Jing had reached a bottleneck. Especially in the last month, his internal strength had not increased at all. Dong Shenyao knew that if he could not break through the bottleneck, the amount of internal strength would be very difficult. Increased again. After 3 days of retreat, Dong Shenyao's bottleneck had already cracked, and he was about to break through. I saw that Dong Shenyao was in the 6th form at this time, with claws and wings, and the internal force in the body was running in the meridians according to the formula. As time passed, Dong Shenyao was not in a hurry to hit the bottleneck, but kept accumulating internal strength and adjusted his state to the peak. For a few hours, Dong Shenyao's spirit finally reached a peak. He knew that the time was ripe. At this moment, Dong Shenyao clearly felt that the life force in the earth poured into his body, and was absorbed by every cell. After absorbing these life forces, there seemed to be a feeling of joy in the cells. His body seemed to have been sublimated, and the speed of internal force operation suddenly accelerated a lot. Broken. Dong Shenyao shouted in his heart, and controlled his internal force to charge towards the bottleneck. Bang! The first bottleneck was not broken, but the cracks expanded. Bang! 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 After several consecutive hits, the cracks got bigger and bigger, but Dong Shenyao's internal strength also consumed a lot. Shenyao knew that he had to break through the bottlenecks in one go. And will become more robust. Break it for me. As Dong Shenyao shouted in his heart, the internal force in his body turned into a long spear and stabbed straight at the bottleneck. Boom! The next moment, Dong Shenyao seemed to hear a thunderous sound coming from his body. At this time, the bottleneck had been broken. After the internal force had crossed the bottleneck, the remaining internal energy that had been left behind quickly increased. Dong Shenyao did not dare to hesitate, and quickly changed his posture, from the previous posture of claws and wings to the 7th posture, 9 ghosts drawing swords. Finally broke through. Dong Shenyao was happy in his heart, but he knew that now was not the time to think about it. Shenyao abandoned his distracting thoughts and began to concentrate on his cultivation. According to the operation formula of the 7th style, Dong Shenyao began to circulate the internal force in the meridians of the body. Gradually, his internal force gradually increased, and soon reached the peak. The amount in the peak state, but different from before, the internal force the number has not stopped increasing, but has continued to grow, and the growth rate is still very fast. It wasn't until half an hour later that Dong Shenyao realized that the growth rate of his internal strength had slowed down, but at this time, the amount of his internal strength had doubled compared to before the breakthrough, and the quality had also improved a lot. After consolidating his cultivation, Dong Shenyao stopped cultivating. Woo! He let out a long breath, and at this moment, Dong Shenyao felt a very relaxed feeling in his whole body, as if he had taken off a layer of shackles. It's really good. Delighted in his heart, Dong Shenyao simply stopped staying at home, and went out to stroll on the street. Although Dong Shenyao is already a high-level executive of Konoha village at this time, his reputation is not as loud as before, because many of the things he does are unknown to ordinary villagers, and others do not deliberately promote Dong Shenyao. Unconsciously, Dong Shenyao came to the cemetery of Konoha village, where all the sacrificed ninjas since the establishment of Konoha village were buried, but most of them had no bodies. Konoha ninja corpses were destroyed in battle, some fell into enemy hands, and some were never found, so most of the graves were burial mounds. Soon Dong Shenyao walked to the graves of his parents. Father and mother, my combat power is now comparable to that of Zunying, and even after this breakthrough, I will be sure to fight against cage-level powerhouses. You can rest in peace in the spirit of heaven. Don't worry, I will resurrect you, when the time comes. Our family of 3 can be happy together again. Quote. In front of the graves of his parents in the war, Dong Shenyao recounted all his experiences over the past year, and then Dong Shenyao went to see the graves of the dead ninjas in the Dark Blade. It was not until dusk that Dong Shenyao returned home. Today Tsunade went on a mission, said to be a B-level mission. He couldn't come back today. Just when Dong Shenyao had dinner and was about to rest, Anbu suddenly found him. Sir, Lord Hokage is looking for you. At this time, Dong Shenyao's status is different now, and he has become the boss of Anbu, so these Anbu don't dare to be as cold to him as before. I see, you go back first, I will find Lord Hokage myself. Yes. After taking orders, Anbu left directly. Strange, what is Sarutobi Hiruzen looking for me to do so late? Isn't it the same for my shadow clone if I have something to do? With doubts, Dong Shenyao packed up and left the house. Sarutobi Hiruzen in the office. Sarutobi, you are really dedicated, it's already so late that you are still working. Looking at Sarutobi Hiruzen who was reviewing documents there, Dong Shenyao suddenly had a fear of the position of Hokage. I can't help it, there has been a backlog of documents for so long, and it can't be solved in a short time. Sarutobi Hiruzen complained. You can ask Shadow Clone to help. Dong Shenyao reminded. You think I can't think of it? I've asked Shadow Clone to help me, but it's still not enough. What are you looking for me for? Dong Shenyao wisely changed the subject. Sarutobi Hiruzen was just complaining. This time, facing Dong Shenyao's question, his expression became serious. I just received news from the front line. Oh, what happened to them there? Because everyone had just returned to the village and there were a lot of things to deal with, Sarutobi Hiruzen never sent reinforcements to another front line. The situation is very bad. I should have received the news of the surrender of Iwagakure village from Sunagakure village, so their attacks have become a lot more crazy recently, and this time there is a news that Senju Yeya, the son of the first generation, is dead. Chapter 320 Go to the battlefield. What? Senju Yeya is dead. Dong Shenyao stared at Sarutobi Hiruzen with wide eyes, a look of disbelief on his face. Although Tsunade's parents were not mentioned in the original book, which made Shenyao suspect that Tsunade's parents should have died long ago, but he still did not expect that Tsunade's younger brother Naoki had just been born, and Senju Yeya died. Could it be possible? Senju Yeya was already a peak-level elite jonin a few years ago. With his talent now he should be able to reach the quasi-shadow level, and as the son of Senju Hashirama, even if he doesn't know Mokuden wood style, but there should be some trump cards, how could he die so easily? Dong Shenyao couldn't accept this fact. Sarutobi, What happened? How did Uncle Yiya die? Hey, I don't want to believe it, but this is the truth. Originally, with Yiya's strength, it was impossible to die so easily, but he sacrificed to protect his companions during the battle not long ago. Although Sarutobi Hiruzen didn't say it in detail, Toshinyao was able to guess that it must be Senjuyeba who died in order to defend his comrades from the enemy's attack. Pity the Tsunade child, and the newborn Nawaki, who has no father at such a young age. Sarutobi Hiruzen sighed. Sarutobi, I can't drag it any further. At this moment, Dong Shenyao's expression suddenly became very serious. Yeah, I can't stop it. Toshinyao didn't say it clearly, Sarutobi Hiruzen understood it. Toshinyao was asking him to send troops to support the front line. The battle has been going on for so many years, it's time to end it. Toshinyao, there are many things in the village, I can't leave, so I can only leave you and Yoshikawa Jiro to support the front line. I see, I don't know when we will set off. There is no objection to Dong Shenyao going to the battlefield. Not only does it allow him to gain a lot of god-building points, but more importantly, he now has the ability to save his life on the battlefield. Strength, and now even if he were to face Kazekage, he was confident that he could get away with it. This time, the front line will need to mobilize some Chunin and Jonin, so it will take some time. Let's go in 2 days. You will leave in 2 days. No problem. Discussing the matter of supporting the front line, Dong Shenyao didn't stay for long and left directly. He still had to think about how to tell Tsunade about Senjuyeba's death. It's a bit of a headache. Tsunade returned to the village after completing the mission. After seeing Tsunade, Toshinyao found that Tsunade looked very happy. Yao, do you know that this time I won a bet outside? You don't know, this is the first time I have won in so many years. Tsunade said very excitedly. Tsunade, you're gambling again. Dong Shenyao straightened his face, and at the same time he had to sigh at Tsunade's predictive ability. Facing Toshinyao's reprimand, Tsunade stuck out his tongue. It's been a long time since I gambled. After this mission, I happened to meet a casino, so you went to gamble. Dong Shenyao was also very helpless. He knew that Tsunade liked to gamble, although because she had not experienced those things in the original book, she was not as obsessed with gambling as it was at the beginning of the original plot. But gambling addiction is not small. Tsunade, I have something to tell you. Tsunade was also a little surprised to see Dong Shenyao's serious look, because Dong Shenyao rarely showed this kind of appearance in front of her. What's the matter? Isn't it just a one-time bet? As for this, Tsunade whispered. Obviously she thought that Dong Shenyao was angry because of her bet. Tsunade, I didn't mean to talk about your gambling. I got a message from your teacher yesterday, your father Speaking of which, Dong Shenyao paused. Father. What's wrong with him? Tsunade had a vague feeling of bad premonition in his heart. Hey, your father is dead. With a sigh, Dong Shenyao bit Kiba, but still told the story. Tsunade didn't say anything, just looked at Dong Shenyao with a look of astonishment, his mouth opened wide, and he looked shocked. Yao, you're joking with me. Yes, it must be so, it's just a joke. Although he said so, seeing Toshinyao's serious expression, Tsunade's heart gradually cooled. Yo, hurry up, you're just joking. I know you can't accept Tsunade, but I still have to tell you that your father Senjuyeba is dead. Did this happen? Why did it happen? First grandpa, then second grandpa, and now my father, why are they all dead? Tsunade cried bitterly. Cry, just cry. Dong Shenyao hugged Tsunade tightly in his arms. Yao, don't leave me, don't. Tsunade, don't worry, I will never leave you in this life. You are my woman, I am your man, and I will never be apart in my life. Dong Shenyao looked at Tsunade and said affectionately. Yao, I like you, I love you, and I want to be your woman. Tsunade looked very excited at this time, apparently because of her father's death, she completely realized the fragility of life. Tsunade, I hereby swear by Dongshenyao that I will resurrect your father and grandfather. You don't need to comfort me, how can people be resurrected after death? Tsunade shook his head, obviously not believing. Tsunade, you are wrong. People can be resurrected. There is a power in this world that can bring the dead back to life. What ability? Tsunade asked in surprise. Rinnegan. Rinnegan. Isn't that a legend? No, Rinnegan isn't a legend, it's real, and I've found some clues about Rinnegan. Tsunade couldn't help cheering. Knowing that Rinnegan can bring the dead back to life, Tsunade was not so sad anymore, and with the comfort of Tashinyao, his mood gradually stabilized. Then he said what he was going to do on the battlefield. No. You finally came back from the front line, why do you still have to go there? It's so dangerous, I'm looking for a teacher. Tsunade directly objected. Don't worry Tsunade, the situation is settled now, the battle will be over soon. Finally, under the strong persuasion of Dongshenyao, Tsunade agreed to go to the battlefield. 2 days later, Tashinyao found Sarutobi Hiruzen early, and at the same time he also met Jiro Yoshikawa who will go to the battlefield with him.